of desperation, forged a pact with Ivory, and the combined power of the pacts that we had allowed us to break free of the sort of like a paralysis or like a stasis magic that she was using. And there was a note, something that Ivory had said. At least I think it was him, or somebody said that Thor came across the veil to find those strong enough to restore balance. I think that's what Ivory had said.
That was Ivory. Yes, correct.
We broke free. And then the ominous figure, the Crimson Witch, got a lesson in talk shit, get hit.
Yeah, you guys,
Molly whopped her while she was teleporting away.
Indeed.
And then we went to check in on the frightened and injured townsfolk.
Correct. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. You guys had followed a trail into this clearing, where you all had this sort of sense of dread, like life had sort of left this space, or this vicinity, wherein a fight had ensued. You took on a couple of Githyanki, like the ones you had met previously, who were again, had grown this sort of like chitinous armor over their bodies, something really weird that you're not familiar with. And after that short battle, yes, you did indeed confront the Crimson Witch, who, when she did absorb that life energy that you mentioned, you recall that your companions, your fake companions, screamed out. She had taken the princess, Titania. Yes, so she absorbed the so-called princess into the cube. Immediately after which, Bartholomew was, for all intents and purposes, removed from existence. As far as you can tell, he went from existing to not existing. Ronick made his pact with Ivory, and combined forces of the four Fae with you presented an overwhelming force and had scared off the Crimson Witch. So, picking up there, Nissa had briefly moved in to kind of check on the scared group of individuals that were huddled up on the hill as like a sort of last stand
to your job looking for you
against these invaders that had chased them out of town. Seeing that more or less that everyone was safe and sound, the two remaining guards folk that were with them are kind of tending to their own people, trying to get them calmed down and kind of come up with a game plan as they talk amongst themselves. And so the five of you are now gathered sort of at the foot of the hill here where the battle had ensued. Just kind of taking a moment to come to terms with everything that happened in that really short, brief amount of time. And you, Nissa had felt the life force come back to this little grove of forest, and signs of life started returning. You can hear birds, and the wind picks up and blows through, and just general life just kind of come back, and you can feel the vibrancy of it. And you're all sort of just standing there for a moment, kind of looking over each other, letting the events sink in, when Ronick, as you kind of take a step to adjust your posture, your foot bumps into something on the ground, and you feel this poof, and you look down and you see a small satchel about the size of a soccer ball, with a piece of parchment tied to it.
What's this? Ronick will kneel down and quickly pick up this satchel.
So you know that it's a satchel that seems to be in plain make at first glance, but immediately you feel this dull, magical aura on it that it's just kind of giving off. And you look over the piece of parchment, and it's got, it's sealed together with wax, and you can see the crest, and the sigil of the crest that's imprinted in the wax is an eagle surrounded by stars, right in the center of the eagle. And as you're looking it over, the wax seal on the parchment kind of pops off, and the parchment kind of opens itself up a little bit, and you can see on the inside of the parchment that there are some words in there.
Can I go ahead? I do know Common, Loxodon, Elven, Gnomish. Do I recognize these words?
Immediately at a glance, it looks to be written in Common.
Alright, so what do the words say?
Okay. So you pull the piece of parchment open and kind of stretch it out as it's been rolled together, and you can tell that it's probably been that way for a long time as it kind of wants to roll back up on itself, but you manage to get it open, and it's just a few short lines here. It says, "To the individual who reads this, if you are in fact in possession of this parchment and satchel it was attached to, then you are someone who I can trust. This also means that I care. I am leaving specific instructions for you, and trust that you can follow them discreetly. Make your way to Portable and seek out a blacksmith, Gareth Sanders. Show him the satchel, and he will know. You'll have information, and you should be able to assist you with certain things. Finally, when your business is complete, take this satchel to Candlekeep, and you will know what to do. I apologize for this burden upon you, but as it is my final request in life, I hope that you can take this task with the utmost care and alacrity. You have my heartfelt gratitude."
Unfurling the parchment carefully, Onyx's eyes scan over. And this almost looming sadness becomes not even slowly, but almost instantly overtaking his expression. One quick thing, DM. That was Gareth Zanier, a blacksmith in Scornabel, correct?
Correct.
And then after we have finished speaking with him, take the satchel to Candlekeep. We'll know what to do.
Correct.
Okay. Ronick hurls it back slowly. And I'm going to just take a peek inside of the satchel itself to see what else is in there. But sort of, not like a reaching in, but just kind of opening it.
Sure.
Just looking.
So you attempt to pull the satchel open, and it looks to be bound together pretty simply with leather straps, and you try to work at them, but you can't quite get it. You try to pull on it a little bit, and it doesn't budge.
Alright. In that case, I'm going to use one of my new tools as I set it down and walk 25 feet away, and I'm going to cast Fireball.
Alright, sweet. Wait, hold on, what did you get Fireball? Fuck!
Well, I could have. I chose not to. Experimental build and whatnot. But Ronick will just kind of sadly turn to the others and kind of pocket the satchel and says, "It's all that I found of Bartholomew."
What did it say?
Oh, can't hear you.
Or went out for Barty in the night.
Yes. I feel that he kind of turns to the rest of you. Maybe we ought to focus for now on getting everyone safely back to the village. But I think we're going to need to figure out what exactly happened here today.
Hold on, I thought we had told them to maybe not go back to the village.
Had we? It's been a little bit, so my memory's a
We
little
told them not to go back to the village. It was the town.
Oh,
where
yes.
the body is.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go. So we need to find a safe place for them to go. The village is not a good option right now. going to turn to Cathios. Cathios, do you know the nearest village that we might be able to take them from here?
Yep.
Nearest village? To your knowledge, Cathios, it's gonna be Scornabel. Going back south takes you back to Verdusk, but you'd have to make it back to the main road first. But once you hit the main road, once you hit the main road, you'll either go south to Verdusk or north to Scornabel.
Well, there is Scornabel. It actually might work because we need to get to the main road. What we could do is direct them, get them safely to the main road, and because they'll have to go north.
Mm-hmm.
And for us to get to Verdusk, we would need to go south. But it might be a good drop-off point at least. We could possibly come to them the entire way, but we would be even later on our journey, I believe.
I mean, that's where we're going, but yeah, a big crowd of villagers definitely slow us down a little bit.
Just has had a bit. Scornabel could work well. And he kind of like holds up the satchel for a moment. There's something I need to look into in that village.
Can I
Is
help?
everyone okay? Did I heal everyone? Like, does anyone need anything?
Shit.
Rana kind of looks to Totem a little worriedly as he is a very tough fellow but tends to take a bit of a thrashing in many of our encounters.
I healed someone once?
I think, yeah, I think you did.
You healed them a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no
You did take
idea
a few
what
hits,
I
though.
did and did not do.
If I took damage, it resets. I hear myself.
Oh, so.
Dang it, Joe.
Yes. If I did take damage, every time I come back to roll 20, it resets my stats.
Really?
Yeah.
So weird. It should
That
be
is weird. Yeah, it shouldn't, but I don't.
Roll 20 is fickle bitch, though.
I think you did take damage because I'm looking at your token, and your token says a certain number out of a certain number. So I think you did take a few hits. I don't recall specifically, but
Okay, because my max hit point is 54 and it's showing 54.
yeah, it's showing 29 on your token. So I'm thinking you did take some hits.
Okay, so I'm going to just change that to 29.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Would we like to rest here for a bit? I could see about patching up anybody who might need it a little.
I think that might be a great plan. As he kind of slowly kind of gets up.
All the corpses,
Maybe,
some of these are kids.
yeah, we should away from this place, but Totem, Cathios, maybe the two of you could help us look around, take point on finding a good refuge for a rest. I think these people would want to get away from this place.
Good idea. Let's go, Totem.
Yes, lead the way.
And are you okay? Veronica turns to Adrian.
Adrian's just kind of staring off into space, just...
Are you... It's all right. Hey, it's over now.
Have you met my dog? He's pretty great.
Insight check.
Mm-hmm. You
It's
better roll deception if you're gonna lie to him.
14.
now you choose to update. Okay, sorry.
Rolling.
Adrian, not the most charismatic. 13.
So what's going on with Adrian?
She believes she's fine. She's very obviously not fine. Her normal sort of over-the-top personality is completely gone, and she just kind of looks almost... She looks way too young just standing there holding her dog.
Why is Adrian not fine right now?
Good question. She's kind of stuck in her head and can't get out. There's something about that scenario that rang a little too familiar in a spot where she tries not to go.
You get the feeling, Ronick, that this specific situation may not be the first time that she's been in such, where danger was imminent or life-threatening, and it seems to maybe have affected her a bit.
Ronick smiles. It is a very nice dog. And he kind of gestures towards the others. Why don't you walk with us? I think we'd all like to hear quite a bit about it.
About my dog? I could talk forever about my dog. He's the best. He's so fluffy. Look how fluffy this is.
Ronick will start to kind of head back to where the others are, sort of guiding Adrian along. As they sort of approach, giving the, like, sort of look to all of them, like, just roll with this, guys.
Yes, nice puppy. As Totem's big hand kind of pats it on the head.
Aren't you gone?
No, you left.
Oh, wait, never mind.
With Caspian.
Oh, Mink. Oh, never
No, he's in
mind.
two places at once.
Yes.
Totem is everywhere, guys. Look in your shadows.
And also, just to reiterate, JM is basically a Yorkie puppy, so he's literally only this big.
Very small.
He's so small and fluffy.
Alright, so you guys are gathered around, just taking a moment, and Adrian's kind of showing off her dog. And you see the other guardsman, the one who was up against the rock, who's now got his bow slinged over his shoulder. He comes, not running over, but he moves over with, with some intent. And he looks to the group of you and he goes, I think we've got most of the village folk sort of calmed down and settled for the moment, but the wagon we were using to make our way out of town was damaged in the chase. It may or may not be repairable. We kind of left it in a hurry just to go on foot. I was gonna go and look for the wagon and see if it's something that we can get fixed up, but it looks like it's starting to get late. And, do you know if this is like... Would we be okay out here? I mean, we've got kids and small children and some elderly with us.
We have, someone who's totally amazing at finding places to stay out in the wilderness. We've slept out here in the wild a couple times now and been totally fine. So, we sent them to go look for a nice, safe spot away from the corpses.
Oh, wow. Yes, yes, good idea.
And we'll, stay with you tonight, and then we were thinking, since Verdusk is kind of done,
Right.
you might want to tag along with us. We're going to Scornable, and,
Yeah.
we could kind of give you, an escort there.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the consensus on our end, too. We spoke to... Well, we tried to keep the children out of it, but we more or less relayed the situation, and as unfortunate as it is, we're all without homes now, so we kind of were hoping to get to Scornaville, but we really need that wagon.
Maybe like first thing in the morning when we find it. Did we pass a wagon on our way here? Did we see it when we found
Intelligence
the
check.
Oh.
You may or may not have seen one.
My dumb stat. Actually, it's not. Actually, I'm smart.
As you were moving quickly to intercept the threat that was put upon by the villagers, you vaguely recall somewhere on the left, as you were moving towards, that you think you saw something that resembled a wagon, and you might be able to pinpoint it come morning when there's a lot more light available.
Yeah, so like maybe we'll try to find camp like in the direction of your wagon so that we're like a little closer to it tonight, and then we'll sleep, and then in the morning I can help you find it.
That seems good. Man, we can't thank you guys enough, truly. I don't know what we were gonna do.
Probably
It's truly a
die.
miracle.
That would have been terrible.
So thank you for that. I'm glad we're not dead. But, I'll go back and make sure everyone is okay with moving before you guys find something that we can
Yeah,
call
like
for
get
the
them
night.
all set up and ready to go, and that way when Cathios and Totem get back, they'll like we're all go. You know, like you gotta get the kids' shoes on like well before time to leave the house.
Oh,
It's a
absolutely.
nightmare.
Of course. I'll leave you to it then. Thank you again. Good luck. And he kind of he moves back to the group and looks back and gives kind of a look, and then he goes back to the group. He's like, oh man, little overwhelmed. But all in all, okay.
Gnome is fucking weird. Like, it would have been blunt. That gnome.
Thanks for telling me I was gonna die, lady.
Ron, I didn't
you
hear
die?
any of this as I've been getting like a monologue about Jada.
Have you pet him? He is the softest, and sometimes he can be an owl. He's really grumpy when he's an owl, though. I don't really know why he's grumpy when he's an owl, but he's like the big owl, and then he gets really grumpy. But when he's a puppy, he's like really super sweet and soft, and just like, I mean, look at his little bow tie. He's wearing a little bow tie. How can you resist a bow tie, right?
I have read about familiars preferring certain states as opposed to others. There was an ancient tale of a really angry frog named Mortimer that I read once.
Sounds ominous and familiar somehow.
I think it's what they referred to as a BBEG.
It all makes sense.
Totem back yet?
We'll jump to Cathios and Totem now.
Please are they back yet? Please?
No.
Please tell me they're back yet.
They're not back yet. They're actually lost.
No!
You didn't even get to roll and you're already lost. You're welcome.
This is
No, so... Right. Cathios and Totem, you've stepped away from the group and taken a moment to kind of survey your surroundings and kind of pick a general direction to kind of move in. If you guys want to make a survival check. Oh, you were ready with that. Look at you.
Damn.
I'm
With
waiting.
Totem with you, go ahead and take that with advantage, since he's helping.
Yes.
Nice. So, you guys are moving south-southwest, sort of back in the direction of the way you came. Given that you need to make here that way anyways, you guys felt that that was probably the best way to move first, just to see. And you move along, and it takes you a few minutes of looking, and you actually find another clearing in the distance, maybe another 30-minute walk. You can see it from where you're at. As you're cresting this hill, looking down, there's another grove of trees with a nice clearing in it that is, from what you can tell, clear of bodies and corpses and gore and all the stuff you're trying to get away from. But easily large enough to accommodate what would be this fairly large group that you guys have. But as you're walking along, you guys want to take a minute to kind of talk about what happened between the two of you, or?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Kathios, just eyes darting, making sure there's no corpses, no tracks of big beasts of any kind. And then, feeling a little more relaxed after the events, turns to Totem. Well, I don't see any signs of mischievousness. It's mostly looking for some. I heard a story once from my grandfather about this dragonborn was almost eaten by an owl bear. And
I'm loving the cameos tonight.
he survived, but barely.
I think I heard about this legendary dragonborn. I think he was my cousin somehow.
But yeah, we definitely don't want to get munched by owl bears if they exist in this world here.
Oh, that is true. But at least there's no dead bodies, so I think this might be a good place for them.
Yes.
All right.
So, what are you thinking, like, after all the events that have happened, like, learning of that fairies exist, or spirits?
Oh, whatever the heck that thing was, I almost thought, I was going to lose my little dragon. Again.
As she pats Rage. Making sure he's still there.
It's okay, little Rage. He'll be with Dad soon.
Will you stop throwing him?
He needs to learn how to fly sometime.
When he's older.
So, like, 2 days older then?
Never mind, this conversation is dropped.
Oh. Okay, 1 day. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
We found our clearing. Shall we head back?
Yeah, it's getting kind of late, so might be best.
Get those kiddos at least somewhat of a peaceful sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so the two of you have scouted out a decent place, a separate clearing from where you're at, and the two of you head back. Again, it takes roughly 20 to 30 minutes to get back to where you were. And it's really starting to get late now. The overcast skies from before are beginning to slowly roll back in, but a lot more naturally this time than previously. But you don't sense any rain, but you never know. The weather could change, flip a coin. So it's getting darker a little bit more quickly than it normally would this time of year. So you're losing some visibility. But the five of you meet back up in the clearing with the townsfolk from Verdusk, and you're all together again.
Kathios waves. We found the place.
Excellent.
And looks
Is it
like
fun?
he has one ear that flips down.
It's a very nice ear. Look, I can do that as well.
Kathios looks from Adrian to Ronick, giving a look like, has she been talking this whole time?
Totem will go to Ronick. Yes, good job. No? Oh, the dog. Oh, yes. Good puppy.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Nissa goes into like camp counselor mode and starts like, come on everybody, it's time to go. We've all got our shoes on, we're ready to go find our camping spot.
Verona kind of like Now that I think about it, I don't know if Ronick wears shoes.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
I'm guessing no. I never assumed that
He kind of like looks down at his lack of shoes after that comment, and you can just see like his like grayish skin reddens slightly as he becomes incredibly self-aware.
Everyone wears shoes except for me.
Oh, you see, outcast yet again.
Ah, don't worry, my friend. Yeah, I don't wear nothing. Remember? Oh well, used to.
That's true. When did you take your kilt off?
I didn't know I had to have it on at all times.
There are children
Oh.
around it.
Well, me and Kathios was out. You know, I'm just gonna stop. Never mind.
I didn't even notice you took your hood off, Tatum.
Kathios, does that mean that it's like I was your wing buddy?
No, Ronick. The
I'm
opposite.
really. This is new to me. Congratulations.
Kathios just, no, Ronick, no.
I mean, I've read a couple of things. There was a story in Lust Academy Season 1.
Ronick, there have been many times where you've been around Totem naked as well. However, this is not the time.
But so he got naked of his own accord.
Yes.
Oh, from how he worded it, I thought that something had happened between the two of you. I'm sorry about that mix-up.
Kathios is just turning purple, like, okay, let's Nissa, let's go.
Kathios, wait, are you alright? You're looking sick.
I am sick.
Kathios, come here, I'll use some healing magic. Kathios, come on, wait!
And a chase scene ensues. Alright, I'm gonna need you guys to roll a constitution.
We just totally start, there's like this like clearing with woods on each side, and we just start to like Scooby-Doo.
Yes. So that happened.
Looks to Nissa and shrugs. Did I say something wrong?
Well, I mean, typically, a wing buddy is trying to convince people to take clothes off, not put clothes on. But I think you were right in this situation. He needs to wear his kilt right now.
That's what I thought.
So you were wrong at being a wing buddy, but right at for what the situation needs.
Seems that much to... Hold up! You can't just stand on the hill and let the breeze catch it.
The kilt of a great sword.
It caught me off guard.
Popcorn from her bag. It's just like, around, I'm sure.
The wind is blowing that way.
Oh my god, I hope not.
Very smart. You're tracking the direction of the wind too.
Wouldn't
That
be
way
a
we know which way the
stronger
clouds will
breeze
blow.
for it to move.
It is a strong breeze.
Hurricane type gales are required.
Pass away.
Alright, moving on. Oh my goodness. You made your wife quit the game. Thanks. Nick.
I have that effect on people.
Nick.
Especially his wife.
It's right. Oh no.
I'm just like this.
Yeah, this is just his normal state of being.
Yes, this is before beer.
I was trying to like give you a cover, just kind of,
She knows better. Alright, so. He shenanigans are over. The chase scene is done. Everybody's back together. And it looks like the villagers are ready to go. Connor kind of waves to you and kind of gestures to his group and nods. I think we're ready.
Oh, we do now.
Oh, that looked like it felt good. Wow!
Big old pat on the back.
Oh, this was like my first day back at the gym after like not going for a month last night, so I'm in a pain. So like sitting up was hard, and then like I didn't have the reflexes
Oh no.
Dodge
off
the
that
chair.
before it hit my arm.
Uh,
Lord of mercy. Okay. So yeah, we start leading the way, I guess.
yes. All right. So, take a moment, get everybody together, ensure that everyone's safe and in a good headspace, and you start moving southwest towards the location that Totem and Kathios had trekked out for you and deemed a safe location. By the time you get there, thick, heavy clouds have rolled in, and the sun is more or less gone at this point, and it was approaching evening already. It's nearly pitch black outside. You have a few minutes to kind of scrounge together a few things, being that you're in a wilderness. There's lots of loose branches and small shrubs that are some dried out more than others that you can get together real quick to get a fire started for you guys, so that you have a little bit of light to illuminate the area. I'm just going to move you to here, because I had one ready. And so you have a fairly secure location to kind of rest for the evening. Some large trees to take shelter under, a smattering of semi-large rocks here and there, and a nice place for a big campfire for everybody to just kind of group up around and have some warmth.
As we are chilling, Nissa's gonna use her last wild shape plot to turn into a weasel, and so she can dance around and entertain the kids and scare Ronick and just kind of bring them some joy because they just know a lot of people die in front of them. Like, let's ease that trauma a little bit by scaring a giant man.
Yes, absolutely. So, you're all kind of moving about, getting settled in, and the five of you kind of moving together as a group. Nissa is suddenly gone, and you're all looking around, and you can't seem to find her anywhere. And Ronick, you feel something brush against your foot again, as
Why
before.
are you doing this?
You look down.
Choose to do this.
You look down, and there is demon incarnate at your feet.
Come on! Shoves into Totem's arms.
Jumps in Totem's arms. Are you actually jumping into Totem's arms?
Like feet off the ground into them, or just like
Yes.
like
Feet off
latching
the
your
ground.
arms around his neck.
Totem, there is a huge
Oh, no.
loxodon coming at you at high speed. You have the option to try to move out of the way with a dexterity check, or catch it with a strength check.
All right, wish me luck. 19.
So with some effort, you manage to plant your feet, shoulder width apart, bend at the knees, and
It's all in the
brace for the catch. It's all in the stance, and you brace for the catch. And Ronick,
Title.
being as big as he is, slams into you and pushes you back a little bit, but you are now holding this very large loxodon in your arms as he is frightened out of his mind.
Oh, Ronick, what's going on?
They're like giggling. This is gonna like be a dancing weasel in front of the fire. Like this is everything.
So
It's summoning some kind of demon. Stop! Adrian!
What?
There's a demon!
She kind of like stops, you know, with showing Kid's dog, looks at the weasel, pulls out a massive leather-bound book, slams it down, flips through the pages. I don't think it's a demon. I think I've seen a rave dance before, and somehow this weasel's raving.
Yeah, raving
That should be the
weasel
intelligence.
Nissa puts her little weasel hands on her hips and then uses like her little weasel toes to spell out Nissa in the dirt.
Ronick, I
Oh
need you
my
to.
god!
I need
That
you
is
to.
the best gift ever.
Yes, it is. Roll to see if you believe that. Roll a wisdom check.
Do
you
can
believe
I
your
just
own
choose to fail?
Yeah,
No.
you can.
It's done something to Nissa. Totem! He like whispers. At this point, fear has gripped him so much, his eyes wildly darting back and forth, taking in the surroundings in a frantic manner. He whispers, Totem! So loudly everybody can clearly hear him. We need to find Nissa.
And Ronick, at the same time, you're kind of oblivious, but you kind of hear it in the background. Children are laughing and screaming in delight, and they're clapping, and it's clear to pretty much everyone else except for you that they think this is some sort of performance or theater, but you haven't quite caught on yet.
Oh, okay, with that, I'd like
I
to do
wanna see how
an
good
insight check
my-
to read the crowd.
My
Alright,
weasel
roll it.
dancing is. Oh no, my
That is
weasel
an
dancing is
18.
bad.
Rodney's starting to catch on a little bit.
Yes.
Is
You can
Ronick
see-
wearing trousers?
Yes.
Your pants start feeling warm.
Are you peeing on him?
I have prestidigitation. I can warm 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour.
I'm going to cast
It's like feet
counter
warmers.
spell.
Fucking cantrip.
So there's a dancing weasel. Ronick is scared in the arms of Totem. Adrian attempts to discreetly cast a spell, and Ronick lashes out with another spell, and it's just this abstract mess of what would be terrible theater otherwise, but the
This is
kids
fucking
are
cute.
loving it. The kids are loving it. They think it's
It
hilarious.
doesn't
It
have to
spells
be
going.
good for kids
No,
to like it.
that's right.
So Kathios, waiting for this moment, looks at Nissa, then to Ronick with a smug. She's a great wing buddy, isn't she? Looking at Ronick in Totem's arms and just.
I didn't know you felt that way, Totem.
Aw.
What? You're the one that jumped to my arms.
Is that... Wait. Did I just give mixed signals?
Just keep your hands above the waist.
I intend to.
Oh, man.
Man, I love prestidigitation. I'm looking at this, and basically Adrian just like sat down on a rock, pulled out a hat, and has been doing magic tricks to kids the whole time.
Nice. Excellent.
It's like an egg. Poof, an egg is gone.
Can you make like sparks appear?
Yeah.
Can you just
Okay.
make like rainbow sparks to shower down upon dancing weasel Nissa?
Absolutely.
Nice,
Can we have
nice.
fun?
Just like solving
Agent
glitter.
throw me.
Oh, God.
Throw the loxodon?
Alright, I'm gonna try.
Jump with it, but I need you to throw me.
Alright.
I think
Oh my god.
this mines
Oh,
off of it.
all right. I'm gonna try throw.
I mean,
Yeah,
tomato, he'd have proficiency in it.
Yeah.
it's the same either way, technically.
Well,
So he throws you quite proficiently.
I'm going to see if I can do acrobatics. And
Oh boy.
let's see how this goes for me.
I thought you were gonna try to land on the weasel.
18.
I was very scared.
So what I want to do is he gets thrown up and he starts playing a song as I press to digitate, so that like there's like a kind of like sparks coming out while I'm playing a song on my saxophone trunk.
Did we just turn this into a Disney musical?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you telling me these kids that have just been traumatized don't deserve it?
That's exactly why I'm doing this. I'm like, we need to turn this day around for these kids.
Heck yeah.
Quick
But I
question.
can't believe if anybody wants in.
Approximately how many kids are there, by the way?
There's like 30 kids.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, it's got to be like mostly
Yeah.
children.
It's pretty much, yeah, it's mostly
various
children with a few
ages.
adults. Yeah, there's
Okay.
there's one or two elderly folk, and then there's like 8 or 9 middle-aged women, and then the 2 men guardsmen.
Okay, I was just kind of curious about like supplies for the night and blankets and crap like that. So
There's a lot of people.
yeah,
All
I have enough
concerned about
material at
making
least
sure
to
they
kids
survive.
Just give them entertainment. They'll throw
We're
it.
gonna let them die happy, okay?
Oh God. I can't be part of that.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You won't feel anything in the morning.
Oh no.
I can assume too that we can always go like hunting and stuff in the morning to try to secure some food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Auroric's kind of in a place of like, let's try to like ease the emotional toll.
Yeah.
And then like survive the night, and we'll step forward from there.
Yeah. And you can see as you guys were sort of performing, like the day has worn on them. As energetic as they seemed a moment ago, you can they're kind of losing that enthusiasm a little bit. They've sat down, they've got smiles on their faces, but you can kind of just see it on them. Like they're better, but they're
Yeah.
definitely tired. Like it hit them really hard.
Yeah, as they're getting visibly tired, the Nissa will jump up on a stump and take a weaselly bow, and then as she's bowing, shift back into Nissa herself, and then just go, ta-da!
You get a round of applause from me.
Now everyone go to sleep, okay? Night-night, good-night.
Thank you.
Dreams.
Yes, thank you. You were wonderful.
I'm trying to figure out if Ronik knows any non-creepy like lullabies, but for some reason I doubt it.
Oh no, he actually could play a lullaby tune from his initial homeland. It's kind of a soft, lulling sort of song as he casts prestidigitation, and the musical symbols on his trunk seem to shift, almost fading from existence and reappearing a tattoo, if you will. He plays a soft melody on a flute to help kind of lull the children into slumber.
Perfect.
Would you like me to roll performance or anything for that, or could I take 10?
You can take 10. That would work great. Yep. So yeah, you've taken the time. It's something you know really well. You don't have to roll on that. So it comes out very smooth, very easy, and it catches the ears of all the children, and they take to it really quickly. And you can see sort of a nod of approval from most of the adults there, that appreciative look, like thank you for helping the children and doing everything for them. They just got that look on their faces as they're kind of tending to the kids, but also looking back to you guys in sort of gratitude. So
Smiles, and I'd actually like to maybe kind of call everybody in a little, like, what do you think we should do about food in the morning? A lot of mouths.
There are enough of them. We could probably eat like 3 of them.
What? No!
Raphael's
They're
just
children. Why would you insinuate something like that?
Oh, I wasn't talking about the kids. They're a little too
Adults?
small and squishy. reason that's what I thought we were talking about, and I don't know why.
So I told that guard guy that I would help him go find his cart in the morning so that he could help transport, fix it, and like take the kids to Scornable in it. I don't know, maybe Kathios, do you want to come with us and like on the way we can like hunt for stuff?
Yeah, I did see a good couple animal tracks while we're on our way here.
If need be, there is one other option that I have. Let me adjust my spell slots for that counter spell, because yes, I did commit to that bit.
Yes, you did.
I can supply everybody some food, but if I do this, I'm really going to need to rest through the night.
Oh, I have Goodberry too. I could
I
make
have a number
that.
of uses left of it myself.
Yeah.
Because I could burn, if I burn all my spell slots, because they last for 24 hours, I think. I could probably make enough for just about everybody. I could make a total of 40.
I could make 40 too, so you could make 20 and I could make 20. And then we're not both completely out of first level spell slots.
I was 100% committing to burning all of my spell slots, so that would be great.
All of them? Yeah, go ahead. Burn all those spell slots first thing in the morning.
Adrian looks at me like, I got like,
before I go to bed.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
or is...
That's right.
I got like 20 pounds of trail mix in here. You guys like trail mix?
No.
What kind of trail mix?
I like the raisins and the chocolatey ones.
Oh, the raisins are delicious. I don't think I've had it with chocolate. A lot of mine was just different varieties of dried fruits and nuts. What is this? It's so funny seeing this hulking frame, kind of come in. Chocolate in there as well, you say?
Can you have chocolate? Will it make you sick?
No. We have it a little bit, had it a little bit back home. It's mostly, me that I don't.
She kind of reaches in, scruffles around a bit, and then pulls out a good size, at least for her, handful of brightly colored, candy-coated chocolate pieces.
He's kind of holds in both hands, and his trunk just sucks it off. A dog! Oh man! Wow, chocolate's a serious game changer with that.
Usually I'm the worst gas. So if you ever see him eating some of it, just stay like 20 feet away.
Well, puppies shouldn't have chocolate anyway. That's very unhealthy for them.
He doesn't seem to care.
Well, they'll eat it simply by the taste, but it's not good for their digestive system.
He hasn't died from it yet.
Only when you landed on him.
Anyway, I'll just kind of go ahead. I'll burn my last first level spell slot, and I'll burn a second level spell slot to conjure 20 good berries to add to the mix, and we can kind of combine that maybe with any resources that the others get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll conjure 20 good berries too since we're about to go to sleep.
So it sounds like we're set for food in the morning.
Should be.
Just to be clear, are we still hunting? Or is
Oh yeah, so the good berry, it'll make you feel full, satiated, but it's not super yummy and it's not super satisfying.
I see.
I mean, it's satisfying, but it's not satisfying. You know what I mean?
It's like bread.
Yeah, it's kind of empty calories.
It'll ensure that nobody dies of starvation or dehydration, but I fear it won't settle any empty bellies.
Right. Hunting in the morning.
And a while back, I did meet a wandering dragonborn who knew a thing or two about cooking. I might be able to season up and whip up something if you can provide some, vegetables. I feel a little weird cooking meat.
You can absolutely absolutely look for some vegetables too.
Yeah, I'm good at that too. I can look for veggies on the trail.
That would be really helpful.
Alright, so you guys have your plan for the day? You ready to wind down for the night?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to decide on watches?
I can take first watch if you'd like.
Shall
I'll
we,
take last watch.
shall we go in teams? Or,
I think that's a good idea.
okay. I'll take first watch with you.
Alright, well, I'm glad to have your company. Those eyes can see much better than mine in the dark.
So I guess it's me and Totem then for second watch.
Sounds good.
Nice.
And who will take third watch with this?
I can take it by myself. I'm fine. I'll just wake up that guard guy. He was cool. There you go.
Indeed, Connor is nearby. Alright, so you guys kind of settle in for the night, and Ronick and Cathius, go ahead and roll a perception check for me on your first watch.
Could I assist Kathy? Or is this a group check, or are we doing like, can I assist them to give advantage?
Yeah, you can, either way is fine. You can just do one roll with advantage if you want it that way.
I will assist Cathius,
Okay.
as they are much better at this.
We're doing perception?
Yes.
Okay. 20.
Alright. So as the two of you take your first watch for the night, letting everybody else settle in and get sleep ahead of you, you take the time to keep an eye on the surroundings and just keep an ear out for any unusual noises, and nothing really seems to catch your attention other than the beautiful night sky. It's uneventful but calm and peaceful and very relaxing. The big fire starting to die down a little bit. Into mid-spring, it doesn't get too cold at night, but the fire does help stave off a little bit of the chill in the dead of night. Aside from that, it's pretty uneventful. Second watch would be Totem and Adrian. Go ahead and roll your guys' perceptions. Or do an assist, however you want to do it.
I'll do assist.
Assist.
Go
Let
ahead.
Adrian roll both. As you throw your dice.
That scared me. Just like
Was escaping.
perception.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I rolled a character who doesn't have good perception. It's a 15.
Nice. Okay. You rolled with advantage. You rolled twice.
Oh, I threw it the first time. I thought that counted. So.
No, go ahead and roll again.
Okay.
Yeah.
18.
Okay.
Nice.
A little better.
So you two switch off with Ronick and Cathios, and they lay down for some rest as the two of you get up and sort of settle into their places. They had a good spot sort of on the edge of camp, being able to look over everybody and just kind of keep an eye on the surroundings. Again, it seems pretty uneventful, and you guys too notice the beautiful night sky. It's just a dazzling sea of stars twinkling in every little corner, and it's just sets off this really peaceful and really relaxing atmosphere as it's quiet and you get a light breeze coming through. The fire starts to burn down towards cool, so you throw a few more logs on there just to keep it burning a little bit through the night. As you put a few logs in, you hear the snap of a twig in the distance, and the place kind of goes silent. You're looking around, trying to pinpoint the sound.
I send JM after it. Him small and stealthy.
As you let JM down to kind of pinpoint where the sound came from, and he starts to move in one direction, from behind you, you hear a as a deer bursts out and scares the crap out of you and Totem. notices you, sees the fire, and then runs away and dodges back into the bushes again. No! It attempts to.
I wonder how much health a deer has.
I wonder.
Oh, there goes breakfast.
Mind sliver it and get it.
How much damage does Mindsliver do?
2d6.
Okay.
Couldn't hear you through the headset.
Is that an attack spell, or...
No, actually, it's a cantrip. It would need to make an intelligence save of 15.
It fails.
Okay. Max damage. Oh.
Okay.
Shit.
So this deer stares the shit out of you, and almost on reflex, kind of like something that's been drilled into you as someone who's done some fighting in their life, you spin around to this potential threat and immediately, just instinctively, cast Mind Sliver on this foe, right? And bam! Smacks the deer, and it drops. And in your moment of, like, panic, you're kind of startled, like,
Oops.
oh, oops.
Little touchy still.
Deer.
Sorry.
Totem.
Dinner?
Yeah.
Or
Adrian is just freaked out and like mind stabbed a deer. That's the both of you kind of like jumped to your feet at a jump scare. How do you react?
I know where Totem, kind of like jumps, and then next thing sees all that going on and stuff, and it's kind of like, I think I'm still dreaming or something. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, and he'll just like sit down and try to collect what all happened and everything, because he's like totally zoning out.
Oh my god.
Do you know how to?
Okay.
Do you know how to take apart a deer for like food?
Oh yes. So this is not a dream. Okay, yeah, yes, I definitely can.
No,
Yes.
This is real. You okay?
Oh yeah, I just still trying to wake up some.
Oh, sorry. It just startled me, and yeah. Got deer now. We don't like one less thing to hunt for people, right?
Oh yes, that is true.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Breakfast.
Okay, cool.
Now what about for everyone else?
What about for... Yes, this one's mine.
I mean, I'm not really like. I don't know how to take it apart though. I got books, but that's different from the real thing.
Oh no, you don't want to use books to skin a deer. You want to use like a knife or an axe.
That sounds incredibly smart. I've got a letter opener.
I'll use my axe. Thank you though.
Okay. I'll just while you do that, I'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
Okay.
So Totem's gonna start.
What's your dexterity mod? Totem.
Oh,
Just the
where
modifier.
are you at? Oh, 2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been on your own enough times, and with a +2 on your dex, you could take it apart relatively well. You're not super proficient, but you've got the gist, the general idea of what you're probably should be doing to take the deer apart and take the skin off. It looks pretty good. It takes you a couple hours, but you manage it.
Yeah. So some of the places where he's all skinning and stuff and tries to pull it down and like still some of the fur staying on, and he's all, you know what, just forget it. And he just yanks it down still with the fur still attached. That part be a little chewy. It's all right.
You think about it for a moment, Totem, and realize that you should probably do something with the raw meat that you've got now that you've taken the deer apart.
I got blankets. I got fabric. We could probably wrap it up for like until we're done.
I don't think the deer is cold. I don't think it really matters right now.
Well, no, because we're gonna be cooking the meat anyway, right? So we're making the meat warm when we do that, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
so-
this is just to keep the dirt and stuff off of it.
Yes, but let's cook it with a fire, not with a blanket. It won't be warm enough.
Also, because probably not a good idea for when the kids wake up to see more piles of meat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need you both to roll a wisdom check.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's 13.
Alright. So you guys are discussing this, talking about hiding the body, and then all of a sudden, Totem, out of nowhere, it comes to you. We're in the wilderness with raw meat and meat that's, still dripping blood, and it could be, the scent can attract predators, potentially. So you're thinking, I remember hearing once that keeping provisions up high, away from ground level, is probably a safe way to deter predators or keep them from finding what you have. So wrapping it in a blanket is a good first step, but maybe you should tie that closed and hang it up on a high branch of a tree somewhere.
Yes, Totem is gonna start doing that really fast. It's like really quick and everything. The fastest you've ever seen Totem run around, like his head's cut off, and then he's grabbing the skin and all the insides, and he's like holding it out, and he's like darting off into the woods, and he just ends up chucking it.
Get rid of it.
No, need to make it safe. Need to make it safe.
Very good, very good. Alright, so you finish that up, and do your best to get cleaned up. Adrian hits you with prestidigitation, gets the blood cleaned off of you. You're all good to go, and your shift comes to a close, and you tag out with Nissa and Connor. So Nissa, you're awake now, and Connor comes over from the other side of the camp as he's been roused from his sleep to take watch with you. Oh, what an ordeal.
Yeah, shit was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I've lived a simple life up until this point. Nothing even remotely as dangerous as that has ever happened. Not in a long time that I can recall. Not even to neighboring villages. Do you think other people got caught up in this?
I don't know if it was the same people, but I mean, I don't know if you heard about all the stuff that happened in Greenest.
No.
Crazy out there.
What
yeah,
happened to
there's like
Greenest?
Whole dragon cult on the loose. There was like dragons flying overhead, and not nice ones.
I vaguely remember hearing something about the cult of the dragon, but most people kind of shrugged it off as rumors.
Right? You think it's goofy, like people are just being weird until they actually show up with some dragons. Anyway, there was this big mean guy who was like their leader, and we kicked his ass and ran him out of town.
You fought off dragons and this cult?
Not the dragons, just their like the guy. It was just a guy.
So there was someone controlling a dragon. That's even more disconcerting. I didn't know dragons could be controlled.
I don't even know. Yeah, I guess. It seems kind of mean, doesn't it, to like control something? Like it's a living creature.
Yes. No one should be forced to do anything against their will. Even dragons. They don't typically bother people.
Right? Like
I
you
know.
just wanna like have a horde and live alone.
I've heard that they are dangerous, and some of them. I heard this story about a red dragon once from a long time ago. Supposedly they're incredibly terrible, but even then, they don't normally go out of their way to terrorize normal folk.
I mean, the same thing could be said about like like dogs can be dangerous. People have them in their house.
Yeah, if you treat a dog terribly, and it's bound to react in kind. Especially if you starve them. I know people in some of the shadier parts of some cities that will pit dog against dog in dog fights. Terrible business. Yes. Once we get these people up to Scornabell, I'll have to go back to the village and take stock of what's left. Was it in bad shape?
Do I remember if the buildings were, I know there were some buildings that were intact, but...
The buildings were intact, but
ransacked?
There's a lot of zombie bodies littered across the town. The buildings themselves were more or less intact.
There were still buildings, but they kind of got some collateral damage, and there's definitely a lot of zombie bodies and regular bodies. It's gonna be a big cleanup job.
I see. So no one aside from us made it out?
Unfortunately. But you got the kids out. You guys, you saved the next generation or whatever,
Yes,
That's
we did what we could.
Where I'm from, that's super important. They're all obsessed with the next generation, all the elders. They're the young people, the next generation, and blah 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 blah.
Wow, big.
What have you done? The economy is booming.
Wow. You've got the right of it. Death is an inevitability of life. It's just unfortunate when it comes in such a terrible way, but we did get the kids out, and that was, of course, what was most important. If we hadn't acted when we did, I'm not sure we would even be here, but even still, your timing was truly impeccable. If any more time had passed, I shudder to think what could have happened, but it's in the past. I'll try not to dwell on it.
You were just in the right place at the right time. You did the hard work.
Well, thank you. But I heard a saying once, and I may be paraphrasing, or just maybe misremembering, but I heard something along the lines of, it's people, or even great people, can be good or great, but it's people who, how does it go? Something about finding fortune in luck that truly become great. Using that opportunity to be greater than they are. I wish I knew the right phrasing. It sounded more profound when I heard it from someone else. But the fact that you were in the right place at the right time, that may just have been coincidence, but it was what you did with that luck and that time that really counted the most.
Yeah, that sounds like some stuff the elders where I'm from would say. And as she kind of just is blowing off, she pulls out her bag of dank herb and starts rolling a joint.
A connoisseur of tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco.
I've never tried myself, but many people do it. Where are you from, by the way?
I live in the forest. I don't have the map in front of me, so I literally don't remember what it's called. The player does not remember. I think I said she's I'm from the Wood of the Sharp Teeth
Yes, would have shown to you.
Yeah.
Oh, so not far from here, actually. I'm not familiar with the place, but I'm familiar with the geography.
Pretty low key. I mean, we really keep to ourselves. We don't talk
Right
to a
through
lot
the
of
sun.
outsiders.
Yeah.
This is actually. Do you want to know a secret?
Sure, if you're willing to share, I'll keep it.
This is my first time leaving my home
Oh,
when I went to
Wow.
Greenest.
truly.
Mhm.
You've had quite the adventure straight out the gate, then.
Yeah, that's why I left. I heard about this cult rising up, and they were. So back home, there's this big festival every year that is my favorite time. And with all of this cult activity, they were like, you know, oh, we might have to cancel it. Canceled. And it's like the one time that I really get to be just me. And the idea of it being canceled was scarier than facing a cult.
That's quite the brave little heart you have. And it sounds like something truly wondrous. Something definitely worth fighting for. And it also seems like the people of your village took the rumors a little more seriously than most folk. Which I suppose is to all of our benefits, seeing that you're here now. Your elders were wise.
Yeah. They're pretty wise. They're just intense, you know? Like, it's like all the time, like, ooh, wisdom.
Yes, I've come across situations of similar weight before. But
It's a lot
they
to live up
mean
to.
well, usually.
Yeah. It's just a lot. It's a lot to live up to.
Well, you've had a good start, and I can only imagine you'll only go up from here. You and all your friends. It's not a lot of people that would just go out of their way. Normally, most of the adventuring types from the cities, I mean, they've got to make a living. They're in it for the coin, sure, but you just came along and helped people. You've done a good thing.
Thank you.
Of course. And with that, the two of you kind of just make some more small talk as the sun begins to come up over the horizon and day begins to break. The people, Ronick, Totem, Adrian, Cathios, being the adventuring types that you are, roused just a little bit earlier than the children and the people of Berdusk, getting a bit of a head start on your day.
Gives it a head start after feeling well rested.
True. Well rested
Excellent.
indeed.
Yes.
Everybody is well rested. Long rest for everyone.
Whoop.
Yep.
I was so low on everything.
You're welcome. But before we begin the next day, we're at about 10 o'clock. Do you guys want to take a quick 5-minute break? Go to the
Yeah.
bathroom, get a drink, all that good stuff?
Sure.
Yes.
Please.
Do we want to get some like vocals and stuff for the Wiener song?
Yes.
Sweet.
I would volunteer for that, but I have to go potty.
I gotta go to the bathroom too, so you have fun with that.
You lost all your backup singers.
You know what? I can sing about wieners by myself.
Yeah, you can.
I'm here.
I'm gonna.
I'm
Oh, I thought you
volunteering.
had to go too.
No.
Okay, we're gonna.
I thought everybody was leaving.
We're gonna double team some wieners.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Like, all right, you made it weird. I'm out.
No.
Never mind.
Come on. Hi.
Hello.
Well, this is a great bonding buddy moment. Let's go.
night, potato.
Good
Night,
night.
potato. See, we're gonna sing about wieners, and now she's leaving.
Wow, rude.
We
She
ruined
could have waited
everything.
like
Well, we're
2
gonna
more
become
minutes for
wiener
wieners.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
Wiener, wiener,
Wiener,
wiener.
wiener, wiener. Wiener, wiener, wiener.
Wiener. Floppy wieners, very soft.
Wieners, wiener, wieners. Not hard.
No.
Wieners, floppy wieners, not erect.
So are we gonna like?
Wieners.
Are we gonna get a professional recording of this so I can just always play it every time?
Yes,
We
let's
will-
do it.
To quote Mega Man Battle Network, I will jack into your squirrel if that's what it takes.
Sweet, love it. Right on. All right, with that, I'm gonna go get something to drink. So
Okay.
continue with the wieners.
Okay? Wait for it. Wieners. 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 Is this rock bottom? I think I'm at rock bottom. I will be right back for some wieners, you know. Oh, we got some wieners, time to watch them grow. Rowing in the wind like Totem does. Always up, just because it's time for wieners. Yeah, yeah, got some wieners tonight. Got some wieners, gonna make them just right. Got some.
This is so great.
Alright, guys, we'll be right back.
Giving me free reign right now. Oh, goodness gracious. So, do you also, friends, happen to enjoy songs about wieners? Well, you can enjoy that same sensation all the time by playing Raid Shadow Legends. Enter promo code Floppy Little Ding Dong to unlock a new champion today. We'd like to thank our other sponsor, KY. Do you need intimate moments with your characters, or is the DM about to ruthlessly fist you tonight's session? Either way, KY can give you the sensation and, more importantly, the lubrication that you need to make it through to the other side. Heroes lube up. Choose KY.
Where
That's
is
some
the
quality-
unsubscribe button?
Quality marketing right here on my stream.
You'll never get better.
Nope.
We'd
I
like
got
to
the
thank
wieners
our
on.
next sponsor, Bad Dragon.
Bad drama.
Keep talking.
I'm listening.
Are you looking for familiar yet new sensations? We have a variety of products that can fit every angle, if you know what I mean. Looking for something human-like yet a little reptilian? We've
Oh,
got you
no.
covered. Check out Bad Dragon. Enter promo code
Aussie
MyGMFuckedMe to get 20% off your next purchase.
Enter second coupon code AussiePositor.
Oh no.
They have those.
They do,
They
yeah.
also glow in the dark.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh my.
You can get
I'm gonna have to get
sparkly
one.
glow in the dark.
Sign me up then.
Who doesn't want that?
Right? You gotta live.
And now, as we're still waiting, we've seen a great session tonight, everybody. Excellent roleplay, excellent DMing, but the one thing that hasn't yet been addressed is the suffering of the townsfolk. And if you would like to suffer as much as these townsfolk, I'd like you to point us toward, or I'd like to point you to our next sponsor, the Catholic Church.
Oh no! Oh no!
Enter promo code Father Anthony.
Oh my god! What have we done?
Oh my god, hi girly girl. Oh my god.
Oh my
Bye,
goodness.
I joked about you giving me free reign during the Be Right Back, and you said yes. This is on you. So, hey guys,
Father Anthony.
I do just want to put this out there that we could always look to get Brandon some movie.
Yes.
No.
I will absolutely pitch in.
So, dreaded DM, as a matter of fact, you are our first lucky winner by entering promo code Father Anthony on the winter solstice. Wait for the knock on your door at the very darkest hour, and Father Anthony will be there to show you God's ultimate light.
That sounds like a threat.
It is.
Wow. Goodness gracious.
Can
Hey,
I,
look, Joe's back. We're safe now.
can I show you guys something really quick?
Yes. Show us.
I got these. I've been trying to figure out how to hook them up to my PC. I got these Bluetooth elf earbuds.
Oh, I saw those on
Heck
fucking
yeah.
Amazon, and I thought about getting myself a pair. I think they come in pink too.
They do.
That's really cool.
So you know I wanted the pink ones.
This is what they look like in their little charging case.
So cute. I love them.
Now, if I can figure out how to hook them up. Keep saying that I don't have Bluetooth on.
Yeah, your computer might not have Bluetooth compatibility.
I've found that like even setting up Bluetooth on computers has been a pain in the ass for me. I don't know if that's been a shared experience for anybody else.
Same, yeah. Any computer.
I even get an adapter and it's like, no, dude, you don't have an adapter. And I'm like, no, I just plugged it in and you're saying it's on. It's like, no, it's not really on.
It's saying, is
Just
it
kidding.
in yet?
Is it in yet?
I
Well, if you have to
feel
ask.
better about my Mac now. It picks up almost any Bluetooth device ever.
Screw you, Apple products.
Granted, my
Hey.
whole experience with Bluetooth is using the PS5 controller, which has been a shit show for me since day one.
Mine's been with any Bluetooth device.
Well, Kim, since you and Joe both got your computer from the same place and you both have warranty on it, there should be a phone number for a customer service line. And you might be able to call them and be like, hey, does this have Bluetooth and how can I set it up? And just call them and just maybe ask, like,
Cool.
hey, can I actually use Bluetooth on this computer and see what they say?
That's genius. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And I can
Yeah,
wear these.
and if
instead
not,
of
then
this
you know,
hot
we can
headset.
live with her. Yeah, they get warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my head's pretty warm right now.
Very
Well, and
toasty
also,
in the
I
summer.
a lot of times have like earrings are a key part of the outfit, and
Yep.
I
What
plan the
outfit?
fit for stream, and then it's like, well, obviously not today, but
I just want to wear some cute
Nice.
elf ears.
today.
See? It'd be so cute.
So cute.
I would definitely this is a great headset and it gets a really good sound quality and has a lot of neat features, but I would like something a little like lighter and less obtrusive.
Yeah.
Would be like really ideal, and I do like that I'm finally wireless though, because when I'm DMing and I can stand up and like do my thing.
It's such a new, awesome experience. I love it.
How you doing, Faith?
Always a good time.
Hey Schmidt,
Hey, what?
stand up when we're in battle. Well, that doesn't help.
Your belly is very threatening.
Yes.
See, now I'm supposed to sit here and, I guess I'm gonna play and not be aroused. Right.
Yeah.
What am I, a corpse?
Yeah. No. Yeah, so we're coming back. You guys were just beginning to wake up. I can, for the,
I can tackle
viewer,
the chat too between my turns.
I mean, I can just do a real quick one. It'll take me like 3 minutes to just run through what we've done. So for the dreaded DM, he just wants a recap since he's new. And I can just go over it real briefly. So, I'm doing a homebrew variation on the Horde of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat session. Module? That's the word. Module. And so I use the base game to kind of like plan the baseline of the story, and then I've taken a lot of liberties and expanded a lot on it. Like, I have a custom race in the game, and I've added a bunch of interesting NPCs along the way that don't fit in with the core module that have just kind of like brought the world more to life, so to speak. Essentially, if you're not familiar with the module, this takes place on the Sword Coast. The party arrives in a town called Greenest, which is being attacked by a group called the Cult of the Dragon. They arrived at Greenest, helped the village folk fend off this large raid that was taking place, fought a bunch of kobolds and cultists, battled with the Dragonborn, who was some sort of officer along the way, defeated him in combat, and sent him off, and essentially sent the whole invasion scurrying. But at the same time, it felt like they were more or less accomplished what they had come to do. They raided the town, took a bunch of valuables, and stuff like that, and they moved on. The mayor asked them to find out what the cult was up to. They tracked the cult's movements to a large encampment that was about a half day's ride from the town, infiltrated the camp quite easily. They were very lax in security. They found an underground cave which had dragon eggs in it. They had also rescued a monk, Leozen, who is, I forget the name right off the top of my head, but he's part of another large group, like a guild within the Sword Coast, and his job was to look into the Cult of the Dragon and try to dig up history on them, since they
Was that
seem
the
to be
Knights of
kind of
Honor?
new. No, it was, I don't remember off the top of my head. Knights of Honor was a homebrew faction I've added to the game.
Oh, that's right.
The
Leozen
Harpers.
was actually in it. Yeah.
Yeah, Leozen was in the Harpers, which are out of Candlekeep, I think. I'll have to brush up on the history. But he's a faction that was part of investigating the Cult of the Dragon. Along the way, they met this group called the Knights of Honor, which is a custom faction I added into the game, who are sort of, from what little they know about them, they seem to be this sort of thrown together faction of mercenaries. They seem to be working on working in good faith, essentially helping to help instead of helping for profit or gains, which is what they've told our group of heroes. So they've kind of been working a little bit in tandem with the Knights of Honor, on and off a little bit, to try and gather information and figure out what the Dragon's doing. They raided the camp, found dragon eggs. They actually hatched the dragon eggs instead of destroying them, so now the group has a few baby dragons with them. From that point, they were going to move on and hunt down the cult some more, but they stumbled across a town that had been attacked. Come to find out that most of the village folk were turned into zombies, and there was an individual hiding in a cave just a little bit to the north of town. It's kind of set up this ritual circle and was doing experiments with the townsfolk out of Verdusk. Killed most of them. They dispatched this individual and found out that some of the townsfolk had escaped, and this is essentially where they are now. They tracked down the townsfolk who escaped out of town to the north, found them in this clearing off the beaten path, saved them from some Githyanki, and individual called the Crimson Witch, who has very strange and powerful magic, and that's essentially where we are. They've rescued this group of children and some adults and are going to escort them back to safety.
Wow.
More or less sums it all up.
Wow, I was way off what we was doing. No, I'm kidding.
That was way off. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on.
That's, I was messaging
Wait, where are we
Joe, and
going?
I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern on the children.
Right.
Yes.
Where are we going?
Nowhere. Yeah, you guys just woke up.
No, I mean, like,
We're
where
gonna
are
go to the town of Scornabel, which is up to the
Okay.
north. Or we might go to the fields of Verdun.
Yes. Definitely.
By the way,
fields
we're
of
getting
Verdun.
guns.
Yes.
By the way, this is now World War I era.
So where
Yeah,
are we
you've all
going
been
after
transported.
Scornable?
So the original plan, I don't know if your character was here or not for it, but we were planning on going north to Scornabel and then starting to head to the west to get to Candlekeep because there's a lot. It's
I
basically
was
the biggest
not,
library
so that's
in the
why I'm
world.
curious. Adrian's
You were
face,
gonna
like,
hit-
where are we going?
You were going to originally hit Boulder's Gate. Because you were going to try and warn them about the Cult of the Dragon.
And the
Yeah,
library.
well, I think we were trying to go to, it was still a little up in the air if we were going to go to Baldur's Gate or Candlekeep first because they're pretty close to each other.
Yes and no, but in the direction the direction you guys are moving, I'll take you back to the main map.
The reason why I was asking is map.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah,
where are we?
Baldur's Gate, if you're going to get to Candlekeep, you have to pass by Baldur's Gate first. Since you're heading north to Scornabel, you're going to have to head back east. Not east, west, sorry. You have to head back west. To Baldur's Gate, head left, and then from there you'll have to go south to hit Candlekeep.
Yeah.
So,
But I figure we can still probably warn the people of Baldur's Gate and head down to Candlekeep to check out stuff that kind of lines up with what I've got in the satchel too.
a lot of little moving parts going on.
Just a few.
Just a couple. Alright, where are we at? Camp. Alright. So, you all wake up, start getting ready for the day, ahead of the townsfolk who are clearly in need of the sleep. As I said, the sun's beginning to just barely break over the horizon, but there's a lot of, you're not necessarily a crater, but you're in between two large hills that kind of go into this valley where this clearing is, in between all these trees. And so you can see it, but it's going to be a little bit before the sun actually gets to where you guys are. Thankfully, the storm clouds overhead from the night before didn't dump rain on you guys, so you got really lucky there. Yeah. But as you're beginning to wake up, four of you get this tingly sensation. Nissa's already awake since she took last watch.
Tingly.
She's already tingly. No, but as everybody else starts to wake up, you immediately get this, like, you hold your breath for a long time and you start to feel a little bit tingly. It starts to overtake you a little bit. You get that feeling for a moment before it kind of washes away, and four Fae pop into existence amongst you guys.
Our Fae or different Fae?
Your Fae. The Fae that you guys are currently bonded with slowly kind of materialize. Not completely physical forms. They're, right now they're very small. Maybe like 8 inches in size. So they're, small enough that they could, stand in your hand or sit on your shoulder. And they've got a semi-corporeal form. They're slightly translucent, but mostly opaque. As you can kind of see, they look almost shadowy as they kind of all form together. And this is the first time since you guys have met them that they've all kind of been present at the same time.
Morphin' time.
And they kind of form as you guys are looking upon them, and they all start to look around a little bit, almost like they were unaware for a brief moment of what was going on or where they were, and then they look at each other, and you can see these sort of sad smiles kind of overtake all of their faces, except for Ivory, as Ivory actually looks like a shadow. He's got this dark form. Actually, I'll just pop them back on the screen for you since I have them in here. Show to everyone. Show to everyone. So y'all can remember what they look like. But they're in the character tab if you guys want to look them on your own time. Why is it not working? Did they all 4 pop up?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Ink, wind, fang, fire.
Yeah. So the Fire Fae belonging to Nissa kind of floats over to Nissa. The Wind Fae, dressed in blue, kind of takes her position near Cathios. The Ash Fae, who's looks like it has a human form, but at the same time, like he has a human form, but as like this invisible wind kind of blows over him, you can see like his skin like disappear in spots and show like the skeletal figure, and then it'll shape back over, like
Wild.
like the environment kind of disrupts his potentially physical form. So like different parts of his body will show skeletal and then morph back into place and be, you know, normal again. And then the Ink Fae being essentially a shadow with like this oily like sheen, this like rainbow sheen. You know how like if you put oil in water, it's got kind of that weird rainbow color. It's kind of like he looks like he's got like rippling water effects on him, and that rainbow sheen kind of just follows those ripples. And so they all look at each other and they nod for a moment, and then they kind of look at you guys. And of course, Adrian, never seeing them before, and I actually don't recall
Adrian,
if
not
we've
really paying
played
attention.
the few conversation I had, but they have made themselves visible to you.
I was gonna say Adrian's not really like. She probably isn't even paying attention. She's probably busy putting up blankets to make herself a little tent to change clothes.
And so, because you guys are sort of separated on different parts of this landscape from the rest of the group, they talk in soft. They don't necessarily talk in soft tones, but they talk in a low tone. And the first one to speak up is the Ink Fae, kind of hovering near Ronick. Young master.
I see that you have returned. I presume then that this is another convenient moment.
No. Not convenient in the traditional sense, but it is convenient that we can now show you our forms. Before, since the 4 of us crossed together, we were linked in a way. Crossing that veil, it sort of bound us together. And 3 of them being bonded to mortals and me being left out, left us in a weakened state. We didn't have the ability to take corporeal or semi-corporeal forms. Only interact to a small degree with the mortal realm. And speak on rare occasions when we had enough power to do so. It's only now that the 4 of us are bonded that we can begin to have a more active presence in your life.
And at what cost, I wonder?
He, again, has no actual face, but you can see these generalistic features on him as he kind of lowers his head a bit. No, there is no cost. Not to you, anyways. The cost is ours to burden as Fae. It
It's an old tradition that hasn't been enacted in several thousand years. Most of the Fae of the current times hold a level of animosity to all the mortals across this realm, which accounts for essentially all of the malevolent and semi-malevolent behavior that we are typically known for in recent times. We are not inherently evil creatures, but creatures of nature itself.
And based upon the very words you spoke to me, I trust you understand why I'm rather hesitant to trust those who waited until a moment when we were at our weakest to conveniently draw up a contract to bind them to us.
Again, a misunderstanding. With mortals...
Isn't wording everything?
In a sense, yes. However, the wording itself is not exactly important. You should know, someone who is well-read and incredibly literate, that words can be shallow and empty. It's with heart, with emotion, with intent that you put into those words that give them power.
By that very logic, words have power. It's the power you put into it.
Yes, and in that particular moment, a moment of great passion, when you speak the words, when that true meaning is in your heart and comes from your soul, then and only then do those words have power. I could have given you those words at any point in time, and you speaking them at any time other than the moment that you did would have been worthless. They would have done nothing, enacted nothing.
Hey, Red. Thank you so much.
I'll be honest. I still do not trust you and your intentions. However, at that, Ronick pauses for a moment, glancing to his comrades around him. I fear that after yesterday, we might have faced a mutual threat. That woman, she dispatched a friend of ours. We didn't know him long, but he was a good man.
Yes.
I believe they've taken someone, kind of looks to the other Fey creatures. Titania?
The Wind Fae specifically, they all have a saddened expression on her face, but the Wind Fae specifically looks like she's taken it particularly hard. Not only is it sadness and grief, but there's also anger and resentment in her eyes as she kind of stews floating in the air. She's sitting cross-legged with her dress over her knees, but you can tell that she's visibly upset in more ways than one.
Titania is a Fey princess.
It kind of looks over to Kathios like,
So, I'm a little confused. Do you mind if I call you Belle?
You can call me Belle. As we're still recovering from the effects of crossing the veil, there's a lot of memories that we haven't retained, and our names are one of them. But our intentions for coming here have remained.
Well, of course, when you remember your name, I'll of course call you that. It just feels you're very real here, and feel like you should have a name. And I thought Belle would be good.
I appreciate it, thank you.
missing memories like your names. But so there's a hierarchy. There's a Princess Titania.
The Fey realm is vast. It's sort of a reflection of the mortal realm, the two lands connected intrinsically through nature.
Is it true that there's like whole courts, like royal courts and stuff?
Oh, yes, of course. Titania is only one of many, but her status alone makes her very important to not just her court, but to all Fae. There's a balance to be struck in order to keep things working the way they're supposed to.
So do you know what happened to Titania? What did that crimson bitch do?
She scowls and I don't know. That wicked device, whatever it is, it's done something. We talked about it before presenting ourselves to you. We don't know, but normally when we're on this side, we can at least get a vague sense of Fae who have crossed over and made their lives here, whether it be with someone or by themselves, enacting in parts of nature. And we can generally just feel them out and know that there's an existence to be had, but that thing, I feel nothing. It's like emptiness. Like life itself is missing. It's something wrong. It's something bad. I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry. Do you know what Titania's connection to Bartholomew was? Why he disappeared?
It would seem that they were bonded, as we are. Titania has been known to dabble in the mortal realm. As a princess, she takes those liberties as she will. She had a fascination with mortals, and she would come and go as often as she pleased, and when she was missing for this period of time, we didn't think much of it. Again, the fascination with the mortal realm, curiosities. We didn't know that she had, or was even able to take that step with a mortal.
Wait, if they were bonded, like if something happens to you, is something going to happen to me then, or to any of us?
No, it's she winces a bit as she puts her hand to her head. No, but I don't know why. And Fae are difficult to kill. Kill's not the right word. We can die, but we don't actually die. We just return to nature, in a sense. So if something was to happen to us, it would have an effect, but not as dire as you make it out to be. However, she puts her hand to her head again. I'm sorry. It's very cloudy and struggling to grasp at nothing.
It's alright. Thank you for what you could remember.
Of course. But we came here now because we felt that it was safe to do so. We have abilities that allow us to interact with each other and with our bonded ones in a way that would make it so that others wouldn't know. Like a telepathic connection, sort of. And we can speak to you without showing you ourselves, and we can speak to you without making ourselves known to others. Just try not to get caught talking to yourself without realizing it.
Thank you. And she remembers looking like she was talking to herself at one point.
Yup. You can focus your thoughts in such a way that you can respond to us if we are speaking telepathically. It will take a bit of practice, but you should get the hang of it without much trouble, I think. You're all quite capable.
Adrian, you notice the group talking to these Fae. You.
Yeah, no, so I full on just pat her, like, behind, like, you know, she put up some clothes and, like, was changing behind them, and then she's, like, come out, and she's like, what? There's more. You guys just collect people? Is that what you do?
Kind of seems like it, doesn't it?
Honestly, yeah, that tracks.
Oh my god, they're Fae.
Indeed, we are, young one. We are, in fact, Fae. Adrian, correct?
Sure.
Adrian, and actually, to the rest of you, I don't suppose we've given proper introductions, despite not knowing our names. I can at least tell you a little bit about what we are. I am an Ink Fae. That one over there,
He kind of points to the one kind of fading in and out of physical existence.
is an Ash Fae. They are typically known for their incredibly curious and semi-destructive nature. They have a penchant for taking things apart. Literally. The other one, the one who looks like she is made of wind, is, as you guessed, a Wind Fae, and the bright, fiery one, a Fire Fae. Now, I wish my memory served me better, and I assure you, under normal circumstances, Ink Fae in general are incredibly studious and incredibly knowledgeable. We are often known as knowledge keepers of the realm of Fae, but crossing the veil for the first time has a very intrinsically detrimental effect, though temporarily. It
Would it be rude if I asked you to refill my ink bottles? I'm running really low. Do you think you could do that?
He snaps his fingers and your ink bottles are full of ink.
Don't.
Do not worry, young master. It's merely ink, no trouble on my behalf. I do not mind.
So do you each have different powers, best I can describe it? You each can do different things?
We're the Fae are. Yes, they do. We do different things. Some of us are more directly connected to nature, such as the Fire and Wind Fae, which take on elements of nature itself, as reflected in their visage. The Ash Fae and, like me, the Ink Fae are more. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't.
Actually, I can't think of the word personally, so.
Well, you didn't have to tell on yourself. Just
Yeah,
pretend you
well.
don't know.
Anyways.
The word escapes me for now, but we're more abstract, that's the word. We're abstract, and a lot of what comes from our physical forms and the natures of us as Fae is in no small part to mortals and their vast imagination for, well, their imagination and thinking beyond the means of what they're normally capable of. And that translates, in a sense, through magic and bleeds into our world. It's probably strange to you, but it's normal to us.
How did this relationship happen?
Oh,
We almost died.
Ronick is glowering right now.
If it helps, JM comes from a different place that they do.
Yes, the Fae realm is very different from interplanar realms, or even the outer planar realms.
It's a reflection of our own world. Distorted in its own ways, I suppose.
You could say as much, I suppose. To you, it would probably seem distorted, but to
I
us,
suppose from you, ours seems distorted.
yes, in a sense, your world is structured more orderly than ours. Mortals have a need to put things in such a way that allows them to navigate the world with relative ease, so that they can make use of their shorter lifespans. Get more out of life, so to speak. Always like you're in a hurry to get things done.
Adrian's gonna lean over to Ronick. I died once. I think. Might have been a really bad dream, though. Now that I think about it. Once. Yeah.
The four Fae turn and all look at you at the same time, Adrian. A bit disconcertingly, as they kind of look at you for a moment, look back to each other, and then just kind of go back to normal conversation.
No.
It's like when you open the cheese steak and all the dogs are like, yes.
Insight check.
What was that? Like, Rana's just gonna call him, hey, what was that just now? If we're going to work together, then I suppose we all owe each other honesty, right?
Of course, but the honesty isn't ours to give, it's Adrian's. I don't want to tell her story for her. That wouldn't be right of me.
Rana glances over to Adrian.
I'm not the person who knows Faye after death. I'm not even certain I died. I don't know what happened. And after your speech yesterday, or day before yesterday, I'm a little reluctant to share all of it. So, suffice to say, I made mistakes in my youth that I don't want to repeat again. We'll see. Mostly because I don't remember them enough to try to repeat them.
The Ash Fae kind of lowers itself and sits down on Totem's shoulder, kind of leans over.
I apologize for acting in your place, causing you to lash out.
What?
It was not my intention, but your emotions were so powerful that I got caught up in the moment.
I I kind of noticed that. I kind of don't like that you have the control of my body that way.
Oh, no, no. No, I don't have control over you. But our shared bond heightens your emotions when they're powerful. And they were quite powerful. I may have caused you to loosen up on your inhibitions a bit, but I don't control you by any means. And now knowing, because our bond is so fresh, that it has such an effect, I can reel back on that and let you resume control over your inhibitions. I just wanted you to know that I was sorry that it ended up that way. It put you in a bad spot, and us being linked, it put me in a bad spot.
Yes, if you could definitely do that, so I don't try to be all reckless next time, because you never know
Of course,
what will happen next time.
of course. Now that I'm aware and you're aware and we have a feeling for each other, we can better understand each other. We will have better control next time.
So what'd you do with the deer?
Oh, yes, it is tied up in the rich tree.
Which tree?
Yes.
Crap!
Yes, it's tied up in the tree.
We should probably go find that before the kids wake up, so that way breakfast can be served.
I agree.
We can wrap up here if you like and speak at another time. We just wanted you to know, all of you to know, that now that we're together and we can try to be of more assistance to you in the future. And apologize for the incredibly vague introductions of the past and the misunderstandings, of course.
Well, for one, appreciate having you guys here.
Thank you. If you have things to accomplish, the Ashfay kind of looks around. We can take a leave for now. We will always be nearby now that our link is fully completed. You can call on us at any time. And as our memories slowly begin to return to us, we can divulge as much of that information as we can to assist you in the future.
So you're always around them.
From going forward, we will be invisible to everyone. As I said, we can be seen or not seen at our leisure. But we will always be here.
Could you at least not watch us while we like pee and stuff? Because that would be really awkward. Like if Ronix doing his wing fan thing? Whatever that is.
Wing buddy.
No, I don't understand that, but just like not during those times. That's really weird and kind of intimate. Yeah.
I understand the assumptions that those are based on, but I can assure you, speaking for all Fae, we don't have an interest in indulging in such things.
But I
You
thought
are
that you
left.
liked to dabble.
I mean, I'm not out here to like judge, somebody's kinks or anything, or like what their preferences are. I'm just saying, like, if you could not, while we're changing and using using the bathroom and stuff, you know, like the personal stuff, like the really super private stuff, that'd be great.
We have a basic understanding of mortals' needs and their need for privacy, and we would never assume to intrude on those privacies.
Then are you looking at Totem right now?
No, I'm looking at you.
Well, if you happen to look over, you'll notice that he needs all the privacy from your very standards.
I don't think that applies to Totem. He's a free spirit.
He is indeed a free spirit, but he's
Yes,
also...
but just because he dresses that way doesn't mean he's asking for it.
He is a man of great stature. In more ways than one.
What the hell?
I mean, there's a difference between asking for it and then asking for it, like...
But we don't want to keep you. We'll go. Wow. That just popped up while I was talking. Alright.
I've never seen that emote with veins before. Oh my god.
Hot here, you guys? Jeez.
Oh, shit.
Why does that look like Brandon?
No, it does not. No, it does not. No, it does not look like you did all that gross. You guys are gross. I do not look like that. That's gross.
Okay, that one I've seen.
Yeah, that one's been posted a few times. Wow. Lost train of thought. Don't remember what we were talking about.
Deer meat.
Yeah, talking about deer meat.
Hey, Totem, we should probably, like... I
Oh,
don't
man.
presume, but I think that maybe Caphios would know what to do with the deer meat.
Cathios, this is the first time you're hearing about deer meat. You were gonna go hunting, but now there's deer meat.
Wait, what about deer meat?
You're muted.
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go.
What about deer meat?
Oh, you muted
Oh,
still?
no, you're muted again.
Nope, you're muted again.
What is... Okay, is this good?
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
double muted.
You double muted.
Nice.
What the fuck?
I like the little guy. He makes me happy.
Realize that.
So proud of himself.
Now I can't be distracted. Alright.
Wait, what about deer meat?
Last night, there was a deer, and we got it. And now we have deer meat.
Where is it? She looks around.
Totem put it somewhere.
Yeah, Totem's actually looking. Ah, yeah, yes, here it is, right here.
What did you do to it?
What do you mean what I did? I skinned it.
You
All,
did your best.
yes, all fur, most of the fur is gone.
As she picks up some chunks up off of it.
It was dark, to be fair. It was night.
Well,
Yes,
you caught,
thank you.
You caught some breakfast.
Yes, that's what I was intending to do.
Well done. I'm just gonna clean it up a bit. She
I
just
just didn't want to wake you because, you know, it was already your shift. But then also I didn't want, like, a dead deer to just be there in front of children when they woke up, so yeah.
yeah, we should probably start clearing this up fast before Predator is on its way. So, Totem, can you help me get that down, please? Or at least just lower it a bit before it's still hanging. You did good by hanging it.
Yes, I can help you.
Cathos just starts Totem where to start carving off and like just does her thing, taking guts out and tying them up and just kind of throwing them, getting them as far away as possible, kind of as it just away from the camp.
I just have a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Because I really want to be the voice of reason here.
Do you?
We killed a deer hours ago, and it was sitting guts still in there until right now.
Oh shit.
No.
We should.
I thought he got
I was pretty sure I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. He broke it down a little bit.
super clean job of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I imagine he
Yeah.
probably just like wasted good meat rather than leaving nasty guts in there. Like,
I just need
Yeah.
to clarify, 'cause I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a death sentence if we eat this.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
that's fine.
He
Just
cleaned it to
run
some
for
degree.
vegetarians, so don't worry about it.
Yes,
We
totally
good.
Look, we cook it high enough, right? It should be.
Yes. Kills all the germs.
That's why we can eat roadkill.
We just need to roast it for long enough.
Yes. Char it.
Yeah. I must have missed the part when he guttered it and did stuff. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna.
I did. Me too.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
I just assume Kathios and Totem kind of cleaned it up and started roasting it, or
Yeah. So yeah, he shows you where the carcass or parts of the carcass are. He kind of shows you what he did, and he did a decent job as, you know, someone who's not as proficient as you can work with what you got. He kept most of the meat. He got rid of the guts. He did a fairly decent job for someone who's not a skilled hunter, and so you know you can make use of pretty much the entire deer.
awesome. Well
Yep.
done, Totem.
Thank you.
It had less holes in it than before. It had the right number of holes when it died, and there were no extras.
Speaking of which, how did you guys kill it as she's working?
Magic.
She stops.
Magic.
Magic?
I haven't seen burn marks.
Hearts? Literally now trying to find like how it died and
We scared it more than it scared us, and it just died.
you scared a deer. That's a first for me. You scared a deer to death.
15 July.
She's just gonna take your word for it because she just like we have food, no questions asked.
Yeah. Reasonably good deer.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah. So you're doing that, and the Fae kind of just take their leave. As I said, they're not ever truly gone, but they kind of just make themselves not seen as to not distract you from the tasks you guys have at hand, and allowing yourselves to kind of just do what you need to do without distraction. So.
So we still need to find some veggies for our vegetarians. Are we gonna do that on our way to the wagon, Nissa?
That's what I thought. I figured we might be able to find some like wild onion and stuff around here, and maybe some greens.
Oh, I got the greens. He grabs grass.
We've also got good berries. We could make like a salad.
I'll test your
That does give me an idea.
I'll test your eyes more. I'm more for the moving animal. Or
Oh yeah, for sure. We do this all the time back home.
Oh, one
Pretty much
thing.
like grow all of our own stuff or forage for all of our own stuff.
One thing, Nissa. Let's look for regular lettuce and maybe not the electric variety.
Oh, don't worry about that. I would not give that to children.
No accidents. That made it into the salad. I don't know what happened.
look, kids.
Well, buckle up, fuck sticks.
Turn around, you see the little, like, you see the older people, like, just giving children alcohol just to make them quiet for the trip.
Go to sleep now. Last of Grandpa's whiskey.
It's nappy time.
All right, so you guys kind of collect your things and you get ready for the day and make a game plan for what you're gonna do. Go look for this wagon and maybe collect some food along the way. As day starts to break over the hills surrounding you and the sun really starts to come down and bring day with it, the people start to wake up and Connor's the first one to wake up, being as he's someone who's trained kind of in that field to, be a town guard. It's his duty to keep people safe. He's already kind of in that mindset. So as soon as day breaks over, he's the first one up and he comes over and sees you guys. Hey guys, so everybody's starting to wake up and he's there. Oh, I see you took initiative and already started to collect some food. That's good. I was getting kind of worried. I wasn't sure what we were gonna do for that. So
Veronica and I conjured up some good berries, which are not like the tastiest, and the kids might not like them, but maybe the older ones can just like deal with it. For now.
Good berries.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic berries? Really?
Yes.
Don't get the wrong idea. It's not like the tobacco. Like I made them with magic. They don't have whatever.
They're safe for children.
Yeah, they're totally safe. They'll be fine. They don't taste the greatest, and it just kind of gets them to where they're like not hungry but not full. So I figure when we're on our way to get your cart, I'll like try to forage for some like mushrooms and leafy greens, some wild onions and stuff, and then there's some meat. So with all of that together, we should have full tummies.
You hear a loud reverberating grumble of Ronic's stomach when you say mushrooms.
Well, yes, I suppose we're all a bit hungry, especially the ones of larger stature. They've got bigger bellies to fill.
I'm a bit peckish.
Yes, so he's kind of looking around. Honestly, I'm lost. A lot of you seem to know your way around incredibly well. Are you familiar with the area?
No, but
Just incredibly well trained then.
yeah, Cathios is probably. I mean, she's like the best tracker and survivalist ever. So having her on our team has been pretty like made things kind of a slice. But
Suppose we couldn't have asked for better luck then. That's good news. So, should we go for the wagon now? I'll let the other adults take care of the children, but I definitely wanted to get a look at the wagon. I may be in guard's uniform, as tattered as it is, but I did a lot of farm work around and did a lot of helping with repairs, so if it's even remotely possible to fix, I think we can get it in working shape.
yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you are. Cathios, are you gonna join?
Yes.
You said something, I can't hear you.
Damn it, I keep muting myself.
Stop
No.
double muting.
No, double muted! Double muted!
Yes.
Can't hear you.
Still can't. Can you hear me
No.
now?
No, you're double
No.
muted.
What is going on?
I don't know.
No, is
There
your
you go.
headset dying?
Is it?
Can it die or is it wired? I don't know.
No, it's good. Ow, my finger's stuck.
Ow.
You don't need that finger anyways, it's fine.
Stop.
It's the one you don't need.
Yeah, I don't need that one. I just use it to draw.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll just.
Okay, good. So, where should we head for the wagon? As he looks around, truly I'm terrible with being in the wilderness. I apologize.
If Nissa helps Cathios get like the path located that where we came from, and get us back to that wagon we passed? Can she have advantage?
At this point, you guys wouldn't need to roll for it. You made a pretty good intelligence check last time, knowing about where it was, and you more or less all headed kind of back in the direction you came from, like you followed those wagon tracks, or all those tracks back. So,
Nice.
yeah. So from here, it's pretty easy to deduce. It doesn't take too long, maybe another 30, 45 minutes from your position as you guys head along, and you see the abandoned wagon, which was at one point drawn by probably 2 horses, at least you can tell from the hitching. And it looks like one of the back wheels is sunk into this big section of what was mud, but now at this point, since a good time has passed, that a lot of that dirt has dried and isn't really mud anymore, but it looks like it's stuck there. A general, just kind of like once over the wagon, it looks like it's actually intact, but until you get the wheel unstuck, you're not entirely sure. But at a glance, it looks like it's good. And Connor kind of speak up. Actually, this isn't as bad as I had imagined. Though we left in such a hurry and getting stuck the way we were, I think we all just assumed that the wagon was done for. This is good. I think this is really good, but we're gonna have to dig it out probably, it looks like.
Ah, yes. Ronick cracks his knuckles. This looks like a job for Totem.
Did we all come? I thought it was just Cassius and
I'm just there in spirit. I really wanted to say that.
Cassius gets kind of a like a spidey sense tingling. I feel like Ronick would have said we should have brought Totem.
Oh, the big one. Yeah, actually, yes. He looks like he's quite strong. He would probably be more useful in this situation than any of us.
Alright, well, if you guys are gonna start digging, I will go in the forest and look for vegetables.
Right, time to get my hands dirty and make myself useful. As he kind of takes his coat off and he gets down there and he
Wait a second.
finds a rock and he's digging.
What can I turn into that can dig?
Can Mozilla dig?
Just the moment he starts
He might
stripping, you're
burn
like,
the cart.
hang on.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Hold
that's
on a
right.
sec,
Easier
guy.
to fire.
Don't want to burn the
You know
wagon.
what can dig really
Yeah.
well is a T-Rex.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
So
it
good.
might not be high enough level for that.
An owlbear could dig.
Be a dog.
Probably can't because you're
I
not
can't.
certain of the moon.
Yeah. Looks like, shit, why can't I
Wolf?
read a chart?
Wolf.
Wolf could
You have a
dig.
wolf form?
Wolves can dig.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah, she changed
You
it
could
to a
probably
wolf
even find
last
a wolf
game.
at this level.
yeah, I don't know what level.
It's your level divided by 1/4, rounded down. So I think you're still probably at like 1.
Trying to like a Westie dog or a beagle or something.
You know what could dig really well? A laser raptor.
It's true. Lasers are really handy.
Oh, here we go. I'll transform into a giant seahorse. Just kidding.
Great.
Perfect.
Plop.
Yeah, I'll burn a wild shape and turn into a dire wolf and help you
Oh,
dig.
dang. You'll get it out in no time.
Yeah.
They're pretty big. So, as Connor's down on the ground, he's, like I said, he found a decent-sized rock and he's using it to kind of scoop this semi-solid dirt as he gets a little bit deeper. It gets a little bit softer, but he's struggling a little bit. You just, poof, dire wolf right in front of him. He starts a little bit, oh god, oh. I'm sorry. I'm not used to...
She'll give him a little nose nudge to like calm him down.
I'm not used to all this excitement in my life. Helping out on the farm isn't really the exciting life, so to speak, but having people transform into giant dogs is another thing entirely. But yes, he looks. Yeah, wow, you'll probably get this done a lot quicker than I will, but I'm here to help, and he goes back to it and starts digging with his rock, and you go to town with Wolf, and in a matter of 10 minutes, probably, it doesn't take too long. You get it completely dug out, and you press your bodies against the side of the wagon and kind of loosen it up from the dirt below, and it comes loose, and the wheel seems to be intact. It just had a round of bad luck sinking into a really big pit of mud. How big is the dire wolf exactly? Does it say?
It's a large creature.
Oh, it's a large creature. So you could probably, with a little bit of assistance, just push it out with your body.
Yeah.
More than likely. You can maneuver a little bit without busting the wheel. Connor kind of gets down there and pulls up on the wheel a little bit as you kind of push your body into it. Cathio's kind of pushing at it from another angle, and within a matter of minutes, you manage to get that back wheel out of the mud, and it's in good condition. It's got a couple arrows sticking out the back where they were being shot at, a couple of them broken, but other than that, it's in good shape.
Yay.
Once it's up and he starts kind of clearing stuff off of it, Nissa's gonna nudge Cathio to try to encourage her to follow me, and I'm gonna go into the woods and sniff for some mushrooms. Like a truffle hunting pig, but I'm a dire wolf instead.
I mean, you should have a
Hunting
good...
wolves?
What?
The thing now.
It is. It is now.
Awesome.
Would that be like a nature check to...
You have advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or smell.
Proficient in perception. I'm proficient in nature. But I'll take it.
You have a +3 perception from your wolf form.
Well, I keep my stats because it's wild shape.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So, it's not the same as polymorph. Okay. But do I get advantage even if it's not polymorph?
Yeah, I'd say you
My
would.
wolfy nose?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank
I'll give it to
God.
you.
19.
So, with assistance, between the two of you, you quickly find not a lot of vegetables and mushrooms, but given that this is kind of untouched land, so to speak, as people don't normally come through here, you get, a good handful of different edible mushrooms, not that kind of edible. Just normal consumable mushrooms, as well as a couple of root vegetables, some different kinds of onion, and just a variety of other like radishes and just little things here and there that kind of just pop up sporadically. You get a decent haul of that. Cathios, did you want to look for more meat, or do you just wanted to leave it to vegetable hunting?
Yeah, Cassia has her bow drawn and she's just kind of keeping an eye out for smaller animals like rabbits or...
Okay. You spot a couple of wild pheasants. A family, actually. There's probably like 6 or 7 of them, kind of all gathered together in one spot. They're all fully grown, so you're not...
Okay.
You're not taking out babies here.
No baby.
No baby pheasants. They're all full grown. And I think with your survival...
You're just orphaning all the baby pheasants, that's all.
Yeah, way to go. Go ahead
It's
and...
gonna be pheasant
Go ahead and make 6 ranged attack rolls.
Ranged attack.
See,
So
yeah.
all those.
Yeah, just roll to hit. So you catch 4. You get 4.
Also,
You manage to get 4 out of the 6 that you happen to spot in quick succession. You just bam, 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 bam. Knowing what you're doing, you've been doing it a long time. You grab 4 pheasants, good size, along with quite the variety of different little vegetables from here and there, and some mushrooms to go along with it. And so that didn't take long. And by the time you get back, Connor's got, it's not cleaned up, but he's got all the arrows pulled out, and he's kind of like, you know, trying to disguise the damage by maybe rubbing mud into some of it, just kind of making it like appear like they didn't get attacked, just to kind of like keep the children from like going back to that place. And he turns around with you guys. Oh. Wow, that didn't take long at all. You guys really know what you're doing. I'm impressed. And again,
No, we don't.
yes, you do, Ronick. So Connor, again, just really enthralled having capable people look after him, and you guys get back within 30 minutes or so with enough food to start breakfast for everybody. Yes.
yeah.
While they've been gone, Adrian's just kind of been sitting there writing notes, just filling that book. Just the whole time. I think bottle's already almost filled.
While you're writing notes in your book, you're focusing really hard, just taking those notes, and every once in a while you'll stop and get a flash real quickly, just back for just a second, and then it'll go away, and you'll refocus yourself and go back to your notes. You get another one. Go back to your notes, and you just feel presence just lingering a little bit over your shoulder, just kind of there, disconcerting. Get some goosebumps, shake them off.
JM, when did you learn how to fly?
JM's sitting at your feet, looking up at you.
You should stop staring at the back of my shoulders. It's really weird.
Perks his head.
It's okay. You're still the best puppy ever. It's just weird. I'm just saying.
And then after a moment it fades, and everything's back to, I wouldn't call it normal, but back to the way it was prior, before that feeling kind of kicked in for a moment.
Hey, Ronick. So you guys are going where? After we drop off the kids and everything, where are you guys headed?
After Scornavo, we're gonna start heading west towards Baldur's Gate. Why?
Okay. I just was hoping I could keep sticking around with you guys, and I was just wondering where you guys were going.
I've no quarrels if it's along the same path that you're setting out upon.
Well, I was originally going to the town that you guys had been coming from when we met up. So,
Verdusk, what business brought you there, if you don't mind my asking?
Greenest. She was headed to
Greenest?
Greenest. Yes, yeah. She was originally headed to Greenest, yeah.
Okay. You were headed towards Greenest. What business did you have there? It's a little out of the way.
well, I heard rumors about dragon cult stuff. Wanted to go investigate for myself.
strange how it all works, right? I dedicated much of my life to stopping the dragon cult after what happened in my hometown, and yet everything feels just a lot bigger than that now, I guess.
Yeah. One of those, you hear it all the time, but you don't actually know it until you experience it yourself, about when they tell you, you know, the world is a really big place. And you go out and you experience it and find out the world is really big. And it's weird.
Side check.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 24.
What do you want to know, Nick?
What Ronald wants to know is, you're just saying that, and it's like, and so he's just trying to infer, like, is this your first time venturing out there? Like, is there a direct parallel to the story you're giving to your lived experience?
It's not her first time. But I think she said it before that things happened when she was younger, in her youth, so to speak. So it's not her first time, but it might be the first time in a while.
The world's a very big place. Trust me, I've found that on my own journeys. I realize this is going to come as a shocker, so you might want to sit down, Adrian.
I am already sitting.
I know.
Okay.
I'm not from the Sword Coast.
My God.
I know. Look. Was the delivery okay? I'm
That was
really-
actually really well
Totem
done.
is-
Were you
Totem is
hoping for
hilarious.
ominous? Were you
Oh,
hoping for ominous or funny?
I was hoping for funny. Was that okay? It wasn't hot.
No, I'm thinking.
Was it
No,
funny?
it was pretty funny actually. Especially when you said that, you know, you should sit down, and I said I am already, and you were like, I know.
I was
I think
hoping
instead of
because you
saying,
were
"I
already
know,"
sitting, that would be
Yeah.
a little. Oh, perfect.
I
All right.
think instead of saying I know, instead you should go, yes. You are just so close to the ground, it was hard to tell, because you are that much taller than I am.
Am I?
Do you know where a computer charger
It's
is?
so
To
funny
get lost.
that I tend to tower above a lot of folks, but actually back in Tajville, I was considered very short. I actually,
Here.
from most of my life, used to looking up to talk to folks.
So, do you want to know a
Thank
secret?
you.
You're welcome.
Ticket.
She's usually, she's been wearing, really long pants, or, today she's wearing a really long dress. She kind of pulls up the dress a little bit, and her heels are about this big.
How do you walk?
Very carefully. I am actually not as tall as I seem.
Because of the heels.
Yes. But it's always hilarious. People think I'm tall, but I am not. I'm kind of tall, but not tall.
And Ronak smiles, and there's almost a moment of calm zen that washes over him. There's things about all of us that we prefer to have people think. In a lot of ways, I suppose we all sort of put our best foot forward to try to do the right thing, do the good thing in the moment.
That's a better view than what I do. I just, pretend to be what people see me to be, and go from there. I'm
But
a lot
then-
smarter than people think I am.
There's no shame in that. If I don't understand what.
Social circles. The social circles I'm usually in, they don't want to know that this works as well as it does. Because it surprises me sometimes how smart I am, because I'm doing something and then, like, I figure it out in the moment. It's like, oh my god.
Rana kind of gestures broadly, but is anybody around you in these circles? I mean, wouldn't it be a good opportunity to just simply, well, be?
The last time I did that, did not go well. I offended a lot of people, so I'd rather keep this up, because also whenever I act like
wears
this...
no clothing. I don't think
I
we're going to offend
noticed.
him.
No, it's more when we interact with other people. I've noticed that you guys don't really seem to care, which is really great. But, people have a specific expectation of me when they see me. And I find it is usually in my best interest to keep that going.
I get it. At times put on a mask to meet what people want from you, what people expect of you. But I also know that living life under that mask is exhausting.
I'm just waiting till I'm a little more powerful, a little stronger.
And how long will that be, Adrian?
What level is Fireball?
Will you wait 6 months? At that point, 6 months, a year down the line, you'll be ready to be yourself, to finally say all the things that you wanted. But you'll have new experiences. You have met other people. Ones that might even keep you in check longer. What'll the excuse be then? I know. I've made excuses to be something that I'm not. Hell, I think even to this day, there's a part of me that I still reject. I'm sick of it. I want to be who I am. And frankly, who you are, I think anybody that we've been traveling with could agree. There's nothing wrong with who you are.
Oh,
Embrace it.
I don't know who I am right now, so this works until that happens.
Does it though? If it works so well, then why are we talking about it?
I thought it would be nice to converse. Get to know each other a little better.
I think that it has been nice to converse. I'd like to get to know you better. I think we all would. And I think we would all like to know the real you.
No, not that one. Not that one. No.
Well,
but you could
when you're ready
get to know
for
the
us
real
to-
JM.
Jam's a good dog. And Ronick kind of rises and he casts down sort of a sad look for a moment. Just, when you're ready. Not a moment sooner. When you are truly ready. I'll be around to have a conversation. And I'm happy to speak with you and to travel with you until that point. Where I come from, we live by a pretty simple set of rules. Good thoughts, good words, good deeds. You live by the dogma of 3, then you've lived a good life. Right now I see somebody who is having their own struggle. What good deed would it be if I didn't try to help you find yourself? It's a good dog, and I love talking about it. And just as excited as I was to meet that dog, I think we're all going to be excited to meet the dog's owner. And Ronick's going to get up and kind of leave the general premise from that.
Adrian's gonna try the tip berry and see if it actually tastes like dried olives, like she was told.
Non-dried olives. It tastes like elephant sweat.
Yes.
Yeah. It tastes like whatever the DM decides what this will taste like.
Tastes like a regular wild berry. A little bit bitter, a little bit sweet, not incredibly palatable, but it does what it's supposed to do.
Although this is where I'm gonna say, get fucked, Jake. Hey, it tastes like Code Red Mountain Dew.
Okay, so it tastes like Code Red Mountain Dew, but nobody in this world knows what that is.
Sort of
So they're
like a
just.
beard along your neck, but only. You suddenly subscribe to World of Warcraft and cuss out 12-year-olds because they're not good like you.
Wow.
Sponsored by Rage.
And
That's
then you get
legend.
tilted at the towers.
Yep. Sponsored by Rain Shadow Legends. So, the morning is kind of picking up a little bit. Everybody, like I said, kind of came back together. Breakfast is in full swing now. Everybody's kind of eating or finishing up eating. Are there any other conversations that you guys want to have?
No.
With each other, with the others?
I mean, if nobody wants to do anything, Ronick will check in with everybody else.
I think it's also quiet enough that like Adrian's kind of like I can talk to people now.
No, I was talking more.
Fine.
So Katniss is gonna walk over to Adrian and like, you seem very responsible. Glares at Totem. Can you help me clean up these baby dragons a little bit?
I mean, sure, absolutely, yeah. She's gonna carefully take one of them from her. I have a question for you then, DM.
Yeah.
Because of her obsession, would she be able to identify what kind of dragons they are and how to help them properly?
Right off the bat, you know that they're black dragons. Aside from care, people don't write about caring about baby dragons because everybody has been taught to fear them.
Well, I meant like anatomy-wise, like can she figure out from drawings
Yeah.
and stuff, maybe?
Yeah, in terms of like anatomy and just basic animal needs, they're
Yeah.
pretty much like any other animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure. It's like, don't wipe here. Wipe here.
They've got more personality than an animal,
Okay,
but in terms
yeah.
of like needs, they eat meat. They'll eat other things too. Cathios has a diaper on hers.
No, been training. No more diapers.
No
Yeah.
more. You moved away from diapers. Okay,
Yes.
so no more diaper. Yeah, so potty trained. So you know that dragons are intelligent, incredibly so, especially as they get older. So you have a general understanding that you could probably talk to it like you talk to JM, and it may or may not respond at this age. You know that just from the size alone that they're incredibly young, hatchlings essentially. The basic information that you would find. So.
Okay. Yeah, she'll definitely lend a hand with the care and keeping of baby dragons.
As Cathios continues her glare. I judge you.
I judge you.
So, if you don't mind my asking, how did you guys come across baby dragons? Hello, you're the cutest. Oh my god.
Well,
We stole them from the dragon cult.
Kathios nods and just continues cleaning.
Okay. Ness is like off to the side, kind of playing with Reggie. Like, she got some of the pheasant meat and like put it on a string and is like waving it around, using it to hunt. Like,
Cat toy.
honing those predator skills, those hunting skills.
Adrian's gonna have a whole ass conversation with this baby dragon as she's doing stuff.
Indeed.
So you guys, so if
The one that was in Greenest, it seemed like they had some weird control over it.
Okay.
So maybe they're trying to like conquer dragons and get them to do their bidding, and that just didn't sit right with us. But neither did, crushing the eggs before they could hatch. That seemed
That is especially cruel.
pretty
to-
cold. Yeah.
Adrian's basically the kid who was obsessed with dinosaurs and just never got over it. Only it's dragons instead of dinosaurs.
Of course, most kids. Yeah.
And look, when they're babies, they have this extra part, but this will go away when they get older. But for now, it's kind of soft and swishy.
Cathio's lifting it up.
Now I
Just give
know.
them extra for like buffer for if they fall. They can kind of.
So that's what that is.
Yeah, it's like
Cleans it.
extra padding.
You glare fiercely over at Totem again. No, just because that's padding, you can't throw it.
Yes. Like, don't even think about it.
So, and she kind of holds the mouth open. So when these back teeth start coming in, that's when you can start throwing them to train them to fly. But until these teeth come in, don't throw them.
Good to know.
You hear that, Totem?
Are they in?
No, that's
I mean,
gonna
again,
take
if you have to ask.
like maybe a season.
How long is that?
Long time.
Oh,
What season is it now?
You're mid-spring. Mid to late spring right now.
Oh, like hottest day of the year.
gotcha.
He's
This-
like, alright, I'm gonna make a calendar.
The
Countdown
totem
days.
calendar. Tomorrow.
Were you Chronic? You probably couldn't hear me, could you? Can you hear me now?
No, we heard you.
Something about-
Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ronick, who had kind of like wandered over a little ways away, he kind of half turns over to Cathios and pulls his hat off, and Ryu kind of stretches out. He says, "Oh, he's doing well. But I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if we're giving them the lives that they need."
I mean, definitely not. Like, we're gonna need to find them better homes. I don't know. Maybe like a dragon foster home or something.
I fear there's not a great many of those along the Sword Coast. I was hoping that maybe when we got over to Candlekeep that I could find something.
We can have a lifetime membership there. I can help you look.
That'll help, but really that's been part of my whole problem. Is I keep holding out for something to change, to find some information. Hoping that over the next hill are the answers that we're waiting for. So far it's just been nothing.
Well, they have a better life right now at this moment than being crushed or being raised by the cult of the dragon.
That's true.
They've also got healthy coloration.
I'm so
So-
glad you know these things. I was getting a little worried.
That's good. He kind of like reaches up, pets the dragon, and then kind of nips his hand. Hey, none of that.
They are much
Oh.
hardier than we think they are, especially when they're small.
I
Still
mean,
not
maybe if
throwing
we-
time yet.
You still can't throw them, Totem.
But she said, fine.
Maybe if we, really just like finish off the cult that dragon that they've kind of ensnared will be free from their clutches. Like, maybe this is that one's babies.
Well, if I recall, the one that was attacking Greenish was a blue dragon, right? And
Maybe these are that one's nibbling.
Maybe it can adopt.
Wait. No, wait. You're right. We can't raise these. But if we can find out about another dragon, maybe it can raise them.
Yeah.
We stop by Baldur's Gate to give them a warning about the dragon cult. We make a beeline towards Candlekeep. If there's a place that we're going to find out about any living elder dragons, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it'd be great to be able to take care of that and other issues as well. Maybe we can find the answers to all of our problems, but the way things have been going, I shouldn't get my hopes up too much.
And if we ever need, we could just buy like a big chunk of land and just raise them on there like a ranch.
What? Not a bad backup plan.
I can't.
Until you realize
would
how
we
expensive land is really expensive.
On top of
Astronomically
that, if
expensive.
people find out that we have a dragon ranch, we're going to have great forces coming in trying to take our dragons. It's going to be really a life of never-ending conflict unless we can somehow keep dragons a secret, which will become increasingly more difficult as they get older, right?
Yeah, but when they hit a certain age, we could, then they can like go off and find their own. It's just until then.
Well, adult dragons can take up to 10 to 12 years to really fully mature and fight red right.
Exactly.
That's
So we got like
a long-term plan there, Adrian.
I don't have anything else to do with my time. I mean, that's why it's plan B, like obviously plan A is to find another dragon that won't eat us on sight, that can take care of them.
Well, we'll have to see what we find out moving forward.
especially because dragons are very picky.
Tell me about it. I can't get this little one to eat anything except for fish right now. Kind of like squawks at him a little bit with a little sort of baby dragon. No, I don't have any fish. We'll go out for a bit, alright? Hey, don't you squawk at me with that little tone of voice. Sorry. Alright. It's fine.
Careful with that tone. Boomy's gonna think you're talking to her.
She's got my foot right now.
Aww.
Don't talk to me that way, Dad.
So, when Adrian's finished cleaning up the baby dragon, she's gonna just kind of say a few different things to him in Draconic. It's just like, you are the best baby. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And with that, you guys kind of wind down the banter, clean up breakfast, and the group seems to be finished and ready to go. You guys still have your mounts from before, and you use them to hitch up to the wagon and get everybody loaded on. Ronnie. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You've got that ring. Yeah, remember?
Got thick bird.
You got thick bird. That being said, two of you are left without mounts as they're being temporarily commandeered to pull a bunch of children.
Well, Thickbird could probably carry somebody else small if they'd like to double up with me.
This is hopping on.
Yeah. I mean, I could just turn into a horse, but I don't know how long it lasts.
An hour.
Yeah, I think it's an hour. You need to do it intermittently. But yeah, so you guys get packed up and ready to go, and once you've kind of cleaned up the campsite, made sure that the fire was completely out and it's not going to cause any harm after you leave, you set off back towards the main road that leads you to either Burdusk or Scornville, respectively, either north or south. to a safe place.
Hold
But
on,
that-
everybody.
What?
I think it's time to bring Mom back.
No.
What?
Oh,
No.
what?
No.
What?
Oh,
No.
never mind.
No.
I'm scared.
But with that, we will end tonight's session.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeehaw.
solid, dude. Fucking
That was
solid.
That was
real
hella
good.
good. Hella good. You guys were excellent tonight.
Really, just fantastic storytelling. Great, great NPCs.
Thank you.
Fucking deer.
Alright. I'm gonna get your
Honestly,
XP real
the whole
quick.
thing with the deer, I've never been so amused and so aroused at the same time. I'm like, wow.
What? Yes, please.
What?
What? Alright, so you guys go ahead and give it out your 150 experience, say who it is and why, and I'll get your XP here real quick.
So mine's gonna go to Adrian. Cause it's the deer. I'm sorry.
It's the deer.
No,
What
it's
you do?
You said something about feeding people and deer appeared and it's just like, wait, no, food.
just the scared a deer to death. Just I love it, but that's not the only reason. It's also because of the storytelling and how you're really bringing your character to life, like backstory and everything. Just I'm loving it, learning more and more about Adrian.
I will go next. This is a pretty tough one. Adrian had a lot of great moments in particular. I would like to actually give mine to this session for just really kind of taking point, especially the scenes. I liked how you were kind of like putting a little bit more of your backstory out there, and there were a lot of moments where you kind of just took points as like our means of communicating with the public, which for better or worse was pretty cool to see. And actually, you know, I like that. I like that we've got a group of people that kind of tiptoe around the issues, and you're like, yeah, you fucking died, so deal with it. I think it really highlights a dynamic in the party that is really good. So, you know, that's what I'm going for.
Thank you.
Dance
We're not
and
going to talk
weasel.
about that.
Made me cry.
Dance and demons.
I gotta give mine to Totem just because the whole him and Adrian interaction was so short, so awkward, and yet somehow so much happened.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I'm going to give mine to Ronick, for just kind of stepping up and building that bridge and making a connection with Adrian. And that's always really key to bring in a new character, is to have an old character reach out and pull them in, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that one. That's what I kind of like too. The little last bit there, kind of like trying to open Adrian up a little bit more and stuff, and that's what really kind of I like too. So.
Alright. I believe that's everybody. You all get 1,500 experience.
Yeah, doggy.
Woo!
That's a good thing.
And a big thank you from me because you guys are awesome, and the game is awesome because of you guys. So,
Aw.
We got a really solid storyteller, so that helps.
oh, thanks. I'm trying.
Oh,
Doing good. You're much,
You
much
leveled
further
up?
down the path than I
Yay!
was.
Yay, another level 6.
Hey, only about 4,000 more experience, and I get 7.
Okay, well, no more experience for Ronnie.
I just complimented you.
And this is how I repay you. you're welcome.
Imbalanced as nothing should be.
It's true.
All
Alright,
right, really excellent sessions.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you,
was really
thank you.
a lot of fun, really solid. I like how you're able to continue oscillating like scenes, even though we are just going unchecked in the Discord.
Right. I got caught off guard a couple times.
With veins.
The eggplant was like, what? Well, it's because like I was looking, like I have the everybody's video over here with the Discord, and so like I was talking and the picture was just like, boom, right there, mid-sentence. I was like, what?
I'm gonna be real, I keep OneNote open above the Discord the whole time when I'm running because I'm like, Katie's gonna post some fucking shit, and it is gonna derail me mid-sentence.
Oh man, one more for the road.
I had one open there for a while and I ended up closing it. Oh my god, it moves.
I just
Full sing.
Oh my goodness.
at the same time.
So funny.
Good shit.
Alright, Kim, you ready?
You lay there and just
Ready for what?
question your life choices.
We're gonna have to do an outro song.
Oh, yes! Okay, I'm ready.
Eggplant.
Eggplant?
Baby eggplant.
Are we doing eggplant or wiener? Or
Oh,
both?
wieners, I think. Or I can sing about wieners and the backup vocals can be eggplant.
Yes! Let's do it.
Kind of like those overlapping songs.
Wait, are we really doing this? Okay. Okay.
It's all on
No.
you.
Let's
Get some
go.
backup folks. Let's do this.
Eggplant. Veiny eggplant.
Wieners.
It doesn't work though.
Wieners.
I'm tired. I can't do it.
Wieners, wiener, wieners, wiener, wieners, veiny wieners, wieners, wieners,
Plant, veiny eggplant. Looks like a dip. Eggplant, veiny eggplant. Not loved by Nick.
Your GIF afterwards says otherwise.
I know. It's true. I love that we're ending this game on a high note.
Yes.
Raised up, you know, high note.
It's way up there.
We're on a stiff peak right now.
Oh Lord, I'm going to bed.
I think we need to end it right there.
Alright, guys.
So, alright, good night everyone. Thanks everyone in
Good
the chat
night.
for joining. Have a good night.
Night.
Not all.